Everything on, everything working. Anybody out there to let me know? Just want to make sure. And all that shit. Alright. Well, anyways, welcome back. Since finally my StreamYard refreshed, I have maximum hours again for streams, hence why I haven't done a stream in a week. So, yeah, here we are, back at it again. See if I can get some people in here before too long. But for now, just hanging out, shooting the shit, and all that stuff. So, excuse me. So I've got 3 out of the 4 reviews for the weekend done. Obviously, you guys saw the based review. Then, of course, I got the Castrator review tomorrow. Monday will be Unleashed. I still got to do Panopticon. And then I'll be done for the weekend with that. And then we move into next weekend. I'm just going through my Instagram real quick to see what I missed. Also, a quick update on my air conditioning situation. We got the new unit and furnace. It's just we're waiting on the guy to get back here on Monday, hopefully, to finish off the job. And then I can finally get this fan out and just have proper AC again. But we shall see. So, with that said, how is everybody doing? Let me know who all is here. I know Boss is in here. Let's see. Still just double checking me IG, making sure I'm caught up with everything. Hey, what's up, Aaron? I'm just real quick checking my Instagram stuff, trying to get caught up on some things. I'm also going to send a link out to some pals that might want to join. Oh, my neck. My neck, my back, my pussy, and my crack. Oh, what have I done? Ah! Hey, Ricardo. Richard. Getting ready to go to the movie seat together. Don't know what the hell that is. I seem to notice my beard is getting grayer and grayer every fucking day. I'm old. I'm an old bastard now. Like, holy shit, I'm old. Old. Body horror film. I assume it's probably got a lot of mutilation and ripping of guts out. I'm going to take a wild guess as to what the fuck is body horror. Sent a link to Maniac, although I don't know if he works on Saturdays or not. Still haven't gotten an update from Dallas. I was going to say, yeah, I haven't heard back from him yet. He said he'd get back to me whenever he finds the free time. So what happened as to why we didn't get to do that episode Monday was because something came up at his house that he had to take care of. So, but he's supposed to let me know when he can come back and we can finally get to chat with the man himself. All right, I'll send you a link here in a moment too. Still trying to catch up on IG shit. But for the meantime, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. What the fuck is this? I just came across a story post and it's a fucking dick-shaped candle. What the fuck? Oh my god, and it's leaking wax out of the fucking tip. What the hell? That's stupid, but also brilliant at the same time. What the hell, man? What the hell? Eternal Champion or Visigoth? Eternal Champion. I've not really dove into much Visigoth, whereas Eternal Champion I'm a big fan of. And I hope we get a new album soon. Man, I got tired all of a sudden. Yeah. And by the way, Ricky, I just came across that on my Instagram feed. What do I get now? I can send it to you, Ricky, if you want proof. I will give you the proof, bud. Where are you? Horror Master. There you are. There you go. See for yourself. Foo Fighters or The Cure? I'd probably have to go Foo Fighters. I still need to listen to The Cure more. Damn it. And this might not be a very long stream, to be honest. I'm not going to stream past 11 o'clock. That's for damn sure. What the hell? Okay. That was something. Oh, yeah. I need to send the stream link to somebody. Send it to somebody, Q, because she's awesome. There it goes. I think I'm caught up on Instagram now. Actually, wait, I need to post a a post slash story because I made homemade spaghetti and meatballs today for dinner, and it came out really good. Although the amount of meatballs I made, because I used like a half a jar of breadcrumbs. So, and it was also like I think it was like a little over a pound of meat, and I used 4 eggs, milk, salt, pepper for the blend, and I managed to make 39 meatballs out of all that. So, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. We still got a bunch left over that I'm going to try to remember to take to work for my coworker to try. Oh, ouch. Fucker. Just quickly making an Instagram post. Oh shit. I forgot I need to send boss the actual stream link to join. Megadeth or Death Angel? Megadeth. I love Death Angel, but Megadeth's my third favorite band ever. And do whatever you want, Ricardo. Still making the post. I'm just about done. There it is. Just waiting for it to get up there. Yes. All right, anyways, now that I'm finally done with Instagram for the time being, let's get back to talking to you guys. So, yeah, I saw the news about Megadeth doing one final album and a tour and then call it quits. I hope I can see them one more time before they call it quits. So, yeah, hopefully come back to Cincinnati, and this time, if they do, I'm thinking about getting a VIP package so I can meet the band before the show starts. Because that would be awesome to meet Mega Dave, but also meet like Dirk and Lomenzo and even Timu. So, yeah, I guess we shall see how it goes. What will happen? Why do I sound like Sean Connery all of a sudden? Why do I sound like the Grinch? Yes. Boss, if you're here still, I sent you an invite. Accept it, damn it. I'm alone up in here. I don't like being alone. Where? I need a. I blah, 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 blah. I can't even fucking talk. What has happened to my mind? It's enough to warp your foul little minds. Oh, son of bitches. You feed me a sandwich every once in a while, this shit would not happen. Ah!
Hi.
And there he be.
Yay, I'm here.
Were you trying to go Kermit for a second? You were like, yay!
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 Or Patrick Mahomes, depending on who you ask.
Everyone is safe. I'm getting out of here. Yay! What's his appeal?
Kermit the Frog here. Kermit Sewer Slide. Oh no! Oh Jesus, no!
Hello, Kermit the Frog here. Daniel Bryan is the greatest wrestler in the world. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, dude, I try to quote that almost every time. Daniel Bryan. And everyone's like, quit stealing my shit! Scott's like, you fucking kids!
At least he accepts it when I do it.
Fair enough.
I guess he can't accept it when you do it.
Well, I'm the
I
youngest,
guess
so.
because I do it very appropriately in his tone.
I don't know about you, but I think that Daniel Bryan.
Well, you know.
You know that I know that you don't know that about Daniel Bryan. Winning the world title was the greatest moment in professional wrestling history. Yeah.
All right. Ooh, this is a good one. Nightside Eclipse or At the Heart of Winter? I have to go Nightside Eclipse.
Immortal. That's my favorite.
I know you're going Immortal.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Immortal album too, but
that is a solid.
You're putting it up against arguably the greatest Norwegian black metal album of all time. Arguably, because it's between this and A Blaze in the Northern Sky for me.
That's fair.
But for two completely different reasons and two different styles. Like Blaze in the Northern Sky, just riffy madness, and then Emperor going for a more symphonic, sophisticated, bombastic sound. Well, anyways, since you brought it up and I almost completely forgot about it, we're going to finish up the WWE Championship tier list.
We last left off with the Nature Boy, Ric Flair's first title reign. And now we're going to move forward from
All right, so let me get the screen ready for it.
I'm not going to try and be as chaotic as I was last time. So
yeah, you were way too chaotic. But regardless.
My ADHD. Anyways.
So yeah, we did leave off with putting Flair's first run in C. So having the belt from winning it at the Royal Rumble up until Mania 8, when Macho Man's second run would happen. Where is he? And you'll see Prince Ali. Oh, here you are.
Yeah.
So Macho Man's second run, nowhere near as good as his first.
Didn't he have it for like 2 months?
No, he had it until September of 92. Because the big thing he did was at SummerSlam defending against Warrior, which was a great match, but not nearly as great as their Mania 7 match. So I'm probably put him in D for the second run.
C or D. It's just, it wasn't as memorable. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
So that'll lead to
nowhere near
Flair's
as
second
memorable.
reign.
Flair's second reign, which was only a month, and he would eventually drop it to Bret Hart when Bret would get his first run, which his first run,
it was good.
It was okay. He did, like, the only notable matches you could really pinpoint in this run were the match with Shawn at Survivor Series and Royal Rumble 93 with Razor.
Both were good.
Both were great matches, but apart from that, they gave him crappy opponents to work with, like Papa Shango and guys like that. They couldn't have put him up against continue the Flair feud even for the rest of the year. It's like you couldn't have just done that. So I'll say C for Bret's first run.
He would have better runs.
And then we get to Yokozuna, who sadly only had it for a few minutes before we get
Reign, technically. Because he had it for like 2 minutes.
Oh wait, we completely forgot Reign. We completely forgot about when Hogan won it from Taker, which was an F because it was vacated.
Yeah,
it was vacated.
Yeah.
We completely forgot about that. But now we get to Hogan's next run, which that's an easy F. Shouldn't have even happened.
He never showed up
until King of the Ring.
Yep.
Until King of the Ring, when he would drop it back to Yoko, which Yoko, thankfully, he got a long run with it, and it was pretty good. It was a pretty good run for his size. I mean, he did have some solid matches, particularly with Bret and Undertaker. Then you had the Lex Luger match at SummerSlam, which wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was just there.
Stupid fucking ending.
But he did have some damn good matches with Bret. Like, I think they had a steel cage match before SummerSlam. And then, of course, the casket match with Taker at the Royal Rumble, which was really good. So I'd say C.
It was all right. It's just the ending was silly, where Taker ascended from the heavens because they had to run him off with injury.
But now we get to Bret's second run after beating Yoko, and this was, I think, a really good run.
Really good.
I would say this was probably his best run with the belt because, I mean, it wasn't long, super long. Well, actually,
he had it
from WrestleMania 10 through Survivor Series, so he had it for a long while.
7 months.
And of course, he had some classic matches during this run, like him and Diesel at King of the Ring, Monday Night Raw with Waltman.
Kid. Yep.
The greatest cage match of all time with Owen at SummerSlam. And even the match in which he lost the belt to Backlund, that's an underrated gem. It's divisive. It's just obviously divisive because it was all technical wrestling. But who cares? You have two of the best technicians in the ring, and they put on a great clinic. And then we'll talk more about it. Yeah, I would put Bret's second run in A
because
of the quality.
During this period, this was going to be the beginning of the new generation. So this was like one of the few shining gems coming out of that ring or out of that.
Yeah,
run.
Easily the best year of the new generation was '94. You had some damn good stuff during that year, even if a lot of it was still silly. But then we get to Backlund's second reign, which, let's not forget, the final 10 minutes of that match with Owens' antics was amazing. And the moment was shocking, but F because only a few days. And then we would get Diesel for almost a full year, which
biggest drawing champion of all time. He proved to himself.
He's nowhere near the lowest drawing champion of all time. Unfortunately, we'll get to him. We'll get to him in a bit, but I mean, there were some bright spots in Diesel's run, like the match with Bret at the Rumble '95, the Mania match with Shawn. And then the match in which he lost the belt to Bret at Survivor Series was phenomenal. However, Sid and especially Mabel, and even Davey Boy, which is unfortunate that Diesel and Davey had a bad match. You would have thought they would have had a really good one,
that match was
but it didn't happen.
Hell, the
So
tag
yeah, I would
match
say
at-
D.
the tag match at King of the Ring, that was pretty bad. They had no one to pair him. If they would have
No credible heels for him to work with.
they should have just turned him heel. That's what I think they should have done.
Well, not necessarily turn him heel, but they should have kept him as a badass. Basically,
Yep,
this was Roman Reigns before Roman Reigns.
literally took the words right out of my mouth.
You know, it's like he got over as a badass. He should have stayed a badass instead of a corporate pandering goofball, which was what Vince did.
You know who they should have put the belt on, especially at this time period? Owen. Owen would have been fucking incredible as champion.
Well,
in 95.
the best chance you would have had with Owen being champion at all would have been winning the belt at SummerSlam in the cage, or for a cup of coffee post Montreal from Shawn for like a week or two. Those are probably the best chances they would have had at putting the belt on Owen. I didn't see them putting the belt on him in '95 because he was mainly doing the tag thing with Yoko, which worked.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, what you could have done Backlund versus Owen at the Rumble. Because
that's heel versus heel, though.
Well, I know that.
You're not going to do that.
But the reasoning is that Owen's like, well, hey, I helped you win the title. You owe me a favor. Owen wins the title there, and you could do Brett and Owen versus title at Mania, and Brett wins the title back. They could have done that. They could have, but instead they did this. That's fantasy booking, though.
Obviously. But yeah, with Diesel, it's like, yeah, the problems changed his character unfairly, and then, of course, no credible heels to work with. Like, the only credible heel he worked with was Sid. And by default, he was the top heel because him and Ted DiBiase were together. And it just goes to show you, like, honestly, they should have had him feud with Bam Bam. That would have been better because Bam Bam was still great, but they turned him babyface.
Yeah, for almost no reason. Like,
or hell, if Yokozuna was 100 to 150 pounds lighter, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Because unlike Mabel at the time, Yoko was fucking safe in the ring.
Yeah. Well,
Thank God Mabel did get better as far as being safe with opponents after the Mabel run happened.
Yeah.
So there you go. It goes to show you that it had to take a giant ass chewing to finally realize, yeah, you're being a little too rough with the boys. Calm the fuck down.
Again, when Kevin Nash is the most mobile guy in your match, you've got a problem on your hands.
Well, he wasn't hurt much at this point. Like, yeah, he had the biceps tear in '95, but that wasn't a major injury. It was a minor tear he had.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then losing the match phenomenally to Brett. So now we get to
his
Brett's third run, which Brett has even dismissed this title run himself because he felt like he didn't feel like he was being a champion because of who he's going to drop it to. However, despite being a transitional champion, some more great matches. Him and Davey in Your House 5. Him and Taker. Taker's first great match he had in the company at the Rumble and started Taker's evolution in the ring. And even the cage match with Diesel was really good too. So I guess for this, I'd say B.
Yeah.
For Brett's third run.
Plus, him dropping the title to Shawn was a good moment too, even if the match is very divisive amongst people.
Which brings us to
Shawn's first
run, which the Iron Man match is still a classic, but it's nowhere near the best match in WrestleMania history. If you ask me.
It's not even the best Iron Man match.
No, it's top 5 Iron Man match, but it's not the best. But the match itself is still a classic, and the right guy went over Shawn. Now, of course, Shawn's reign is very divisive for the main reason of Shawn not being a draw as champion, which during these days it's deserved because you're the champion, and this was back when it was all about who was the champion. However, as James said himself, in Shawn's defense, who the fuck was going to draw when you had the NWO on the other channel? Didn't matter who you would have put the belt on, you were not going to outdraw the NWO.
They literally could have brought back Bruno Sammartino, and he would not.
And it wouldn't have done a difference. It wouldn't have made a difference. However, Shawn's run itself, I give an A. It's still an amazing title run. Like, every match he had was outstanding, minus the Bulldog match at Beware of Dog, but it was still really good. It just had a weird finish.
Yeah.
But the match with Diesel at In Your House, Good Friends, Better Enemies was a classic that I would say was better than the Iron Man match.
I think it was better than their Mania match.
Oh, way better. Not even a contest.
At least Shawn didn't fuck up a powerbomb spot.
But anyways, and then the match with Davey at King of the Ring was great. The match, despite the politics and the finish, the match with Vader at SummerSlam was great.
The match with Foley.
The match with Foley. Arguably Foley's best match of his career in terms of in the ring.
Yeah.
As opposed to the crazy bumps.
That is his favorite match, but the finish was a bit fucky.
Which he understood why, to help set up other stuff for Survivor Series, which even the match where Shawn lost the belt to Sid, Sid's best match, and it was a classic. Well, not a classic, but it was amazing. Which brings us to Sid's first run, which good move putting the belt on him. He was over with the crowd, and he had some solid matches, like him and Brett at the Following In Your House was pretty good.
Yep.
And then the match where he lost it back to Shawn at the Rumble was still a great match. So even though it was short, I say C.
And plus, too, he was going to the Survivor Series as a heel, and he was like the most cheered guy out of the entire company.
Yeah, because the crowd wanted Sid as the top guy, because who didn't love Sid as a character?
That's the thing. Sid did not need to do anything in the ring, and he was going to be sure no matter what.
Even as far back when he showed up in WCW in the late 80s, people loved him even if he was a heel.
Yeah, like him and Spivey with the skyscrapers. Like, they were wanting Sid. They didn't care about Spivey.
But anyways, and then we get to Shawn's second run, which F.
Yeah.
Only a few weeks before he lost his smile.
And had a knee injury. Yeah.
Which I will say though, some people forget something about that. This is the fact that Shawn did actually have knee problems for years, going back to right before SummerSlam 1990. He blew out his knee heading into that show, hence why he wasn't involved in that match. So I do believe he did have a knee injury. But the whole career-ending part of it all is over-exaggerated. Completely over-exaggerated.
The reason why is because he didn't want to drop the title back to Brett, because that was supposed to be...
Well, it wasn't necessarily just dropping it to Brett. It was that, okay, they were already screwing up the Mania 13 plans long before this. This isn't entirely Shawn's fault. This is also Vince's fault, because he thought, having Shawn versus Brett in a rematch for the belt's too predictable. So let's have them go at it in a non-title match. Sid Undertaker goes for the belt. That was all weeks before Royal Rumble. So plans were already fucked up even before Shawn lost his smile.
I did not know that. I thought it was just supposed to be Brett and Shawn for the title, and Shawn didn't want to do the job.
Well, that was the original plan before an episode of Livewire at the end of '96, where Vince Russo, under the Vic Venom persona, predicted Bret Hart would win the Royal Rumble. And after that episode aired, creative decided, let's not do that. That'd be too predictable for fans to figure out. Which, again, predictability is not always a bad thing.
Exactly, I was just about to say. And plus, we would have probably gotten Sid and Taker non-title, and we were supposed to get Bulldog and Austin, too.
Which, and then I'll get to that in a second.
We'll get
But
to that here in a bit.
but yeah, and then of course, then the plans for the matches kept switching because of the whole Brett winning the Rumble. They thought it was still too predictable, so that's why they changed it to Austin winning the Rumble. And then you get the Final Four stuff, and supposedly Brett was going to cost Shawn the belt to sit on Thursday Raw Thursday, and then Shawn would cost Brett the Final Four match with Austin, Taker, and Vader before Shawn lost his smile. So I think it was a combination of plans being fucked up and Shawn thinking to himself, not only am I losing the belt, losing the spot in the main event of WrestleMania, but I have to lose to Brett on top of all that. That doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, he essentially kind of pulled a Hogan. He kind of pulled a Hogan in a way.
However, I'm not mad at Shawn for it. And I never will be mad at Shawn for it, because if that didn't happen, I mean, because if Shawn stayed, WWF would have died. Because
True.
Because Shawn lost his smile, we get the match that saved the company with Brett and Austin.
Mm-hmm. And there was rumors that maybe Shawn would have went to WCW.
Maybe.
Maybe.
but
we'll
thank
never
God
know.
he didn't.
That's
thank
always
God
one of the biggest what ifs. Like, what if Shawn went to WCW? Do you think Austin would have been as big of a star as he was back in the 90s? We'll never know. We will
so
never
much because of this whole thing with Mania 13. But anyways, and then we get to Brett's fourth run, which was just one day before he dropped it back to Sid for his final
for
run.
A couple weeks.
Who only had it for a month. So and then of course even the match when he lost was a bad main event.
That's God rest you, Sid, but Jesus, you couldn't save that main event.
And again, it wasn't even their fault. It was just the match went too long, and there was no story heading in.
And they turned Sid face before the match.
And then we get to Undertaker's second run. So Undertaker's second run is a mixed bag. Like, he had some damn good matches during this run, like Mankind at Revenge of the Taker, which I would say, minus the Hell in a Cell match, the best match those two had, because it wasn't always about brawling. It was more of a wrestling match with the crazy spot of Foley going headfirst through the announce table.
God damn. Foley. Why?
So I would say in terms of like a non-brawl wrestling match of the Taker-Foley feud, it was the best match they had.
Yes.
And then the match against Austin at Cold Day in Hell was really good, but not quite where they would be the following year.
They have better matches.
Then the match with Farouk was decent at King of the Ring.
Weird match. Wasn't Ahmed Johnson supposed to be in that match, but then he got hurt?
No, so what happened was, after that match was when Ahmed turned or powerbomb Taker, and then I think it was the next night or the week after on Raw, where Ahmed officially turned heel on Taker and joined the Nation of Domination, only to get hurt a week later. Because originally for the Canadian Stampede pay-per-view, it was supposed to have been Taker, Ahmed Johnson. But then Ahmed got hurt, so they put Vader in, which good thing they did put Vader in, and they had a great match. Mm-hmm. I don't think there was ever a bad Taker-Vader match in 97. Like, even though like their match at Rumble 97 was really good, but their Canadian Stampede match, I think, is an underrated big man match. And then, of course, the match when he lost it to Brett at SummerSlam is one of the best main events in SummerSlam history. So, but the big thing with Taker's run, hold on.
Yep, go ahead.
But the big thing that we remember about Taker's run was the buildup of the Kane storyline.
Yes.
It was during this run. So I'd say B.
And also, it felt
because the match quality was pretty damn strong, minus the Farouk match.
It also felt like Taker wasn't the main focus. Like, it felt like it was still focused on like Brett and Austin in some capacity, like,
and Shawn, because he was coming back
like
too.
When Shawn came back, Taker just kind of got lost in the shuffle. It's like, dude,
not necessarily lost in the shuffle, but his title reign became secondary.
Yeah, he felt like kind of like the fourth wheel in some capacity.
But anyways, and then we get to Brett's final
fourth.
run from
Fifth reign.
winning it at SummerSlam, which was a great match, and then the match he had against
Taker
the
one night
Patriot
only.
at
Ground Zero.
Ground Zero. Underrated match. That was a great match, and then
Yeah,
the Taker
that
match
was-
at One Night Only. Best match Taker and Brett ever had, even though the finish was stupid.
But you can understand why.
Yeah. And then, of course, it all led to Montreal. But for Brett's final run, I'd say
Well,
C.
There was one match, the flag match. Whatever
But that
the
wasn't
fuck
for
that
the
was.
belt, so
I
I'm
know,
not even
but-
talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then that led to Sean's final run with the belt, courtesy of Montreal. Now, this title run, I mean, he had it for a while, but didn't wrestle much for obvious reasons. I mean, the key matches, him and Shamrock at DX was really good. The casket match with Taker, best casket match of all time. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Then the back injury happened
And
and
then
didn't wrestle for 2 months. And then even the match when he dropped to Austin, great match, but nowhere near
Both
as great
men
as their
weren't
match at
healthy.
King of the Ring 97. So for Sean's final run, we'll go
C?
C. Which now we get to the Austin era.
the Austin era
So
has
we
begun.
kick off with Austin's first run, which was from Mania 14 through King of the Ring. So this stretch, the first few months of him being champion,
Was great.
was awesome.
Fantastic.
Like particularly the stuff he did with Foley.
Foley. Yes.
The 2 matches at Unforgiven and most especially Over the Edge. Awesome matches. More so Over
Yes.
the Edge as being one of the best main events of the Attitude Era.
Yes.
And even the match when he lost to Kane. Great match that unfortunately gets overshadowed because of Hell in a Cell right before. But it was one of Kane's best matches and one of Austin's most underrated matches. So despite it being only for 3 months at first, I still say A.
I agree. Yeah, like, did he have any TV title matches at one point? Like, wasn't he?
Defending on television, I don't remember if he did.
I could have swore he defended against Shamrock or something like that.
I think that might have been later. That might have been
Oh,
later.
okay, gotcha. But yeah, like it was like 3 or 4 months. Like,
3-month run, yep.
Like Austin, here's the thing with Austin: you didn't need to put the title on him for a year for him to be the most over guy in the company. Like the dude
Or
could have
be a
two-
great champion.
Yeah, it's going to be like the same thing with another guy we're going to be mentioning here later. You don't have to have a long title reign to be the most over guy in the company.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, and then we get Kane, which unfortunately he'll have to go
F.
in F just for 1 day. But as Kane even said himself, ironically on Austin's
Podcast.
Broken Skull session, that it was better for him to have dropped the belt back to Austin than even winning it.
Yeah.
And
Because-
and ironically enough, Kane, as we see, would become the first masked wrestler to ever win the belt.
Yep.
But then we get to Austin's second run with the belt, which I would say his second run almost as good as his first because,
Yeah.
again, it was only 3 months. So if you take out 24 hours, he had the belt for essentially 6 months.
Yeah.
And during this stretch, you know, he won the belt back from Kane in another great match. One of the best matches in Monday Night Raw during the Attitude Era right there. And yeah, he did tag title stuff with Taker, but the thing we remember the most about this run, SummerSlam
SummerSlam.
against Taker, which was
The Highway to
phenomenal.
Hell.
So I would say B for the second run.
Yeah.
It was still really good. And then, yeah, the match in which he lost it was a weak triple threat,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
at least it made sense for the story they were going for going forward. So belt gets vacated for 2 months, which leads us to
The
The
Rock.
Rock's first run after winning it in the only time where recreating the Montreal Screwjob worked.
The best thing Vince Russo has ever done.
The best booking he ever had, which
Yep.
is why Survivor Series 98 is still one of the best pay-per-views of company history, arguably.
I'd say
Not necessarily for match quality, but for the story and the booking, it was brilliant.
Mhm.
So Rock's first run, which was pretty much
2 months.
6 weeks, 7 weeks,
Yeah.
and really like what we know of, it's the Mankind feud.
Yeah,
The
it's
start
mainly
of the
Foley.
Mankind feud, which was great. For his first run, though, I'm going to still say C. I mean, yeah, the match he had with Foley at Rock Bottom was great. Easily the best match on that show. And that's not
I
even a
think
contest.
didn't he have a match with
And he
X-Pac
did
at Capital
defend,
Carnage?
and he did defend against. I think, yeah, he defended against X-Pac at Capital Carnage, and I think he may have defended against Al Snow on Raw. Maybe. No, he defended against Austin on Raw the night after Survivor Series. That ended in
Yeah.
a no contest because of Undertaker hitting Austin with the shovel.
Yeah, yep, that's right. Fucking whacked him right in the head too.
But then we get to Foley's first run, which I don't want to necessarily put him in F because
It
we
was
do
a
have to
great
put. We do
moment.
have to. Yeah, I was gonna say we do have to put into account the moment of winning the belt. Like the
Yes.
moment of him winning the belt, one of the best moments in title wins in company history.
Arguably the best pop of all time. Arguably.
One of them.
And
One of them.
that basically led to WWE winning the Monday Night War.
Monday Night War. The
because
start
the
of them
Finger Poke
getting
Doom.
the start of them getting back on top of the ratings. It didn't come full until May
Yeah.
when they did finally start winning every single week, whereas between January and May of 99, it was still kind of back and forth.
But yeah, Foley winning the title. I put butts in seats. Am I right?
But I put him in first run in D because of the moment, and then we get to The Rock's second run, which would only
Rumble
be
99.
a couple of weeks. Which again, the moment was huge of him getting the belt back. Then we go back to Foley for his second run, which again, the moment was great. But he would only have it for 3-4 weeks before he would drop it back to The Rock in a great ladder match. So we'll put that run in D,
People
which
tend
he
to
would.
forget. The WWE title in '99 switched like 13 times or some shit. It was ridiculous.
It was insanity. Then again, that's why I would say 99 was the weakest year in the Attitude Era, but the highest ratings they ever had.
Yeah.
So it's a strange year. Which then leads us to Austin's third run with the belt, which him winning it in a classic with The Rock, and then had an even better match at Backlash against The Rock. But then, unfortunately, lost the belt at that pay-per-view we don't speak of. So this run, I'd have to go C.
Yeah.
Which leads us
I
to
feel like him... yeah. It's
Taker's third run with the belt, which honestly shouldn't have even happened considering the circumstances. However, since we do have him with the belt here, really... I would say D, because the match he had with The Rock at King of the Ring was okay, but the match where he dropped the belt back to Austin was an awesome First Blood match.
Yeah, didn't they have a title match on Raw, which was like one of the biggest ratings that Raw ever got?
Yeah, when Taker dropped it to Austin for Austin's fourth run with the belt, which this run, he would drop the belt. Yeah, Taker would drop the belt to Austin the night after King of the Ring, and then Taker lose to him at Fully Loaded. But yeah, this is only a 2-month run, so I'd say D for this one.
It's probably his weakest run.
It's definitely his weakest run for sure.
Really quick though, going back to like Taker and Rock, that fucking blows my mind. Why did Taker and Rock never have great matches? You would think those two would have great matches.
But they never did.
Oh
they
my
never
God.
did, which is really, really strange.
So bizarre. Like, even their No Way Out match wasn't that great.
It's funny. The best match those two had, they had to have Kurt Angle in there to make it work.
Yeah, that triple threat, yeah. Then we get final reign.
Well, hang on. And then him losing the belt in the triple threat to Foley for his final run, which this will have to be an F.
24-hour.
Which now leads us to Triple H. So Triple H's first run was only a couple of weeks. So I'd have to say F. Which leads
Yeah,
us to Vince
Vince.
McMahon.
I kind of want to put it, when did that happen? Because I feel like everyone forgets that Vince won the title. And plus, he was vacated a week later. And they did. I mean,
Vacated it 10 days or so later.
yeah, I mean, the pop was cool. It was a cool pop on SmackDown. Why did Vince win the title? Like that's literally the equivalent of, like, why did Arquette and Russo win the WCW World Title? Like, it's almost the equivalent
Ratings
of that.
ploy and publicity.
Yeah.
Which leads us to Triple H's second run, which luckily he would have a longer run with it. He would have it for 2 months. And the match in which he won, the belt in the six-pack challenge was great at Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
Then the match against Austin at No Mercy was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, he had to drop it to Big Show. So for this one, I'll say D.
Him and Rock had a pretty solid cage match at Rebellion too, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he had to drop it to Big Show for some fucking
And
reason.
Big Show first run goes in F.
Yeah, because he had it for what?
He was
month?
like
Month or
6
two?
weeks. 6
Yeah.
weeks. Because he won it at Survivor Series and dropped it back to Triple H on the first Raw of 2000.
He defended the title against Big Boss Man at Unforgiven or Armageddon. 99. What the fuck?
But now we get to Triple H's third run with the belt, which I would say up to this point's been his best run. I mean, winning it from Big Show, but the thing we remember this run for,
the Foley
Cactus Jack matches, is most especially the street fight at the Royal Rumble.
And
I would still say
to an extent.
I would still say that street fight with Cactus at the Rumble is Triple H's best match.
Yes.
Period. Because even Hunter will say that is his best match because it was the match that made him.
Yes, and the best street fight in WWE history too.
Yes,
I would say A, personally.
I was thinking B because then, of course, you had the 4-way at WrestleMania. But even with that, I'll still say A.
He was the hottest heel in that whole company.
Now we get to The Rock's fourth run with the belt. So fourth run, only for a month, but the match in which he beat Triple H at Backlash was awesome.
Yeah.
And even the match he dropped it to Triple H, the best Iron Man match of all time. So even though it's a month, I would say C. In terms of short-term runs, this was one of the better ones.
I mean, the thing is that why would you drop it back only to win it back? That whole thing just never really...
And then we get to Triple H again, which this will have to be D.
D, because he held it for a month.
And dropped it in a 6-man tag at King of the Ring. But then we get The Rock's fifth run with the belt, which thankfully this would be a longer run for him. Mm-hmm. So winning it at King of the Ring in a solid 6-man tag. And then, of course, amazing match with Benoit at Fully Loaded. Really good triple threat with Triple H and Angle. Even a really underrated 4-way at Unforgiven with, I think it was Kane, Taker, and Benoit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then the match in which he lost it to Kurt Angle was an amazing match. So I would say B for Rock's fifth
Probably his best reign.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's the thing with The Rock, too. Like, he never had, like, great reigns, but it's the awesome mentality. You don't need to have a long reign to be the most over guy in the company.
And then we get to Kurt Angle's first run, and what a picture. What a picture to select. But Kurt's first run, he tried. I mean, the Taker match at Survivor Series was good. The 6-man Hell in a Cell was amazing.
Oh, fucking great.
The match with Triple H at Royal Rumble 01 was outstanding. And then the match in which he dropped it back to The Rock was an outstanding match. So I would actually go B for Angle's first run, even though he was almost more so a mid-card world champion.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he still did great things.
He didn't fully feel like,
because his title run became secondary to the Austin Triple H feud.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like,
which is deserved. That feud needed to be the top priority at the time.
Yeah, but sometimes you kind of had to sacrifice, your world champion. I don't like it when companies do that, but at the same time, I can understand why they do that.
Which leads us to Rock's 6th run with the belt, which was only 6 weeks.
About a month,
so D.
But then...
we get to the greatest main event in WrestleMania history against Austin at Mania 17, which leads us to Austin's final run with the belt, which,
not his final. He has one more. He's got one more. No, he doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does have one more, but it was very short. But anyways. So yeah, Austin's 5th run?
5th run. Yep.
5th run, even though it was his heel Austin. The match with Taker at Judgment Day was good. Defended it against Jericho, I think, on Raw in a great match. And then Benoit in one of the best matches in SmackDown history. Mm-hmm. And then the triple threat with both of them, really good at King of the Ring. Then, the match I remember the most from this run, SummerSlam against Angle. If it wasn't for the finish, I would have personally given that a 5-star match because it was an incredible match. Absolutely incredible match with Angle. I get why they did the finish, but at the same time, it does sour the match a little bit.
Yeah. And it was the best thing of the whole Invasion angle, too.
Yeah. So, I would say
A or B, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's as strong as his first run, but it's close. It is really close.
Like, character-wise, fuck no. Who wanted to boo Austin? Nobody wanted to boo Steve. I get why Steve
wanted to do it. But I think, and even Austin said himself, if he could have had a mulligan and heard the crowd at Mania 17, he would have audibled and told Vince, nah, let's just keep me babyface. I'm still loved by these people. Why should I go?
Yeah, and that was a thing. Like, Austin said if he would have called audible, he would have dropped Vince with the stunner.
Mm-hmm. Which leads us now to Austin's final run, which was only 3
what about
months.
Angle? What about Angle?
Yeah. Son of a bitch. Then Kurt's 2nd run, which was only a couple of weeks. I mean, again, I'll put him in D because the moment of him winning, especially after 9/11,
which is why they put the title on him. That was
granted, I didn't like it at the time. I was upset because I loved Austin so much. I cried because I'm like, damn it, no. Looking back now that I'm old, it was an awesome match. Not as strong as their SummerSlam match, but it was still a great match. And of course, we needed a feel-good moment after what we went
9/11, yeah.
Which leads us to Austin's final run now, which was only 3 months. But of course, I mean, the match when he beat Kurt was great on Raw. The triple threat with Angle and RVD at No Mercy was great.
Yep.
And then the matches at Vengeance, him and Angle really good, and him and Jericho pretty good.
And The Rock had a pretty good match at Rebellion, too.
So I would say B for Austin's final run. I'd kind of equate it to his 2nd run, I would say.
You can tell by this point, though, that Steve was mentally checked out. You can tell. Then
which leads us to Jericho's 1st run. His only run with this belt. Unfortunately, D, because... Okay. The match when he won the belt from Austin was pretty good. The match with Rock at the Royal Rumble, phenomenal. Yeah, the match with Austin at No Way Out, not that great. And yeah, the match in which he lost the belt to Triple H was decent, but it shouldn't have been the main event of WrestleMania. But, oh dear God, he became the freaking background player.
He became the 3rd wheel in the Hunter and Stephanie promo.
Yeah. And of course, also only benefited winning matches because of interference from the NWO.
A lot of chicanery. Yeah, the thing with Jericho is that you want to feel good for him, but fuck, they booked him so bad. They booked him like as
Stevie Richards said himself, they cut his balls off.
Oh yeah, they did.
So
and he did feel like a transitional champion too. Because they knew that Hunter was coming back after the quad injury at the Rumble, and they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. Thank God Jericho would have better runs with the big gold belt years later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which leads us to
Triple
Triple
H.
H's fourth, fifth
Fourth
run?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, 5.
4.
It's
So
his
yeah,
fifth.
it's his fifth run, which is only a month. So F, because
Which kind of sucks too, because you would think for him coming back and having a field goal moment, you think he'd have the belt for long. Nope, only 1 month.
because we
Because
got the
Hogan came.
nostalgia. We got the well, it wasn't even Hogan's call. This was a Vince call because everybody was nostalgic for Hogan,
Yeah.
which I can't fault them for. It was the
Yeah.
right call because
Strike
business
while the
needed
iron's
the
hot.
help.
Yep.
And the moment of him winning the belt for Nostalgia Pop was cool, but I'm still going to put him in D because, again, it was a short
2-month
run,
reign.
but the moment was great. Which leads us to
And plus,
Undertaker's.
he didn't defend the title much at all, I don't think. with
During the
Hogan.
month, he might have defended it a couple of times at house shows.
Oh no, him and Flair had a match on Raw, but people forgot about that.
Which leads us to Undertaker's final run with the belt, which, call me nuts, I'm putting it in A. Because
it's his best
because any world title run he had, this was his best, even if it was only 2 months. Granted, yeah, the match at King of the Ring with Triple H was whatever. But what
good.
makes this run amazing, in my opinion, is every other match he had it for on TV and at house shows. But most especially the back-to-back matches in early June or early July of 2002. The Monday Night Raw ladder match with Jeff Hardy and the SmackDown match with Kurt Angle.
And
back-to-back days.
The match he had with Rob Van Dam too was very fun.
And the match with RVD was great too. It's just they teased the crowd so bad with thinking, oh my God, RVD's champion to a huge pop. It was a dusty finish. No, Taker keeps it.
Yep.
So yeah, those 3 matches, and then of course the match when he loses the belt, one of the best triple threats in company history with Rock and Angle at Vengeance, which leads us to Rock's 7th run with the belt, which was only a month.
His second to final reign with the title.
Which would bring us to Brock Lesnar's first run.
Brick Lamborghini.
Which Brock's first run, the match when he won it, great main event with The Rock. Then Unforgiven 02 against Taker, a great main event despite a DQ finish. But the thing that makes this feud, the Hell in a Cell with Taker, one of the best cell matches of all time, and the 3rd bloodiest match in company history.
Jesus Christ, Taker.
Even Paul Heyman bled.
Everyone bled. Honestly,
but Taker's bloodshed was frightening in that match.
He cut a hole in his head. Honestly, despite the fact it was, what, 3
months?
I'd say A. Then he pushed that fucking guy to the moon and back.
And rightfully so. It's like he picked up on the business so damn quick.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the look of a main event star. It's like you might as well go with the new guy.
Everyone can say what they will about Lesnar. He is, at the end of the day, he's a business guy.
Yeah.
And then we get Big Show.
We get Big Show's final run with the belt, which, again, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate we had to wait until 2012 for Big Show to have a good world title run.
His best title reign, honestly.
Which was decent. It was a decent run when he won it from Sheamus. And granted, if I were booking, if I could have rebooked something, I would have had Big Show hold that belt until WrestleMania.
Yeah, you've done that before. You've said that before.
Regardless. Which leads us to Kurt Angle's 3rd run with the belt, which had it for a somewhat lengthy amount of time, won it from Big Show at Armageddon. But the things that make this run, the match with Benoit at the Rumble, which was classic.
Yep.
And even the match in which he lost the belt to Lesnar. Great main event despite him being injured and then Brock getting injured. So I'd say
had it for what, 3 months? It was
4 months. 4 months. I would still put it in B because of the Benoit match.
I would probably say in terms of like a traditional like world title match at the Rumble, that is the best one.
Mm-hmm. Well, would you say it's better than Triple H? Oh, traditional match.
Yeah, traditional, not
Okay,
just like
just not
one-on-one.
a street fight, not a street
Well,
fight.
God.
Because if you were going to include one-on-one for the belt, it'd be tough
That
to
street
compete
fight's
against
up to
Austin
fuck.
Cactus.
Yeah.
It's definitely between those two.
It's literally an apples and oranges. But Brock's second
run. So this was, again, another 3-month run. I would say not as good as his first run, but still really good. Like Cena at Backlash, they had a great match.
Mm-hmm.
The stretcher match with Big Show was really good at Judgment Day.
Yep.
And then the match in which he lost the belt in the triple threat with Angle and Big Show was really good. So I'd say B for his second run.
Yeah, that's smart. Him and Ray had a match on SmackDown that was actually really good for them. That's when fucking wait, no, that was 2002. That's when Ray got thrown into the crowd by Big Show.
Yeah, that was the Halloween episode.
Yep, the Halloween episode. Yeah, I thought that was they did have a match in 2003, but I think that's when Brock turned heel.
Which leads us to Kurt Angle's fourth run with the belt when he won it at Vengeance.
He just came back.
Of course,
from
it was only in a miracle surgery, a unique surgery that let him get back in action quicker. But yeah, only 2 months, but it's the Brock feud. They had a better match at SummerSlam and then another classic with Taker on SmackDown. Up to this point, the best match those two had.
I have yet to see that match still.
Yeah, it was like early September 2003 on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. And then the Iron Man match, I would argue, could be the best Iron Man match in WWE history next to Rock Triple H that they had on SmackDown. I think it was September 11th, 2003.
Something like that.
And it was phenomenal. So I would say B for his fourth run.
I would say the best if it wasn't on TV because of the commercials.
Yeah, that's true.
But Angle, I would say B. I agree. That was a good run.
And then we get to Brock's third run with the belt, winning it from Angle. Decent biker chain match with Taker at No Mercy. And then he had some pretty solid matches for the rest of 2003. Yeah, you had Hardcore Holly at the Rumble, which who can say that Hardcore Holly had a match with Brock for the WWE Championship, which I understand why they did it. They had to pay off that storyline between the two. But of course, the thing that does make the feud, or not the feud, the reign, the Eddie match had no way out. But for this run, I'd say C.
This was when Brock was really starting to check out. Like, especially by 2004. And plus, he was having matches with, like, Shannon Moore and, like, Billy Gunn. It's like, man, you could tell Brock's kind of phoning it in a little bit, so...
However, he did not phone it in for the man he would drop the belt to, Eddie, which
he did not.
That match with those two was phenomenal between Brock and Eddie.
Yep.
And of course, the moment of Eddie winning the belt is up there amongst the top 5 greatest title wins in company history.
I still nearly cry every time that match happens, man.
And then a very good match with Angle at WrestleMania. And then the back-to-back matches with JBL, the Judgment Day, the bloodiest match in company history. Great match, even with the blood. And then the Texas Bull Rope match was very good at Great American Bash. However, people want to keep saying, oh, Diesel's the lowest drawing champion ever. Sad, but unfortunately, Eddie was the lowest drawing world champion the company ever had.
There's a
even lower than Great Khali and Jinder Mahal. But it's for the reason. The only reason why the reign, why he didn't draw, there was no other heel for Eddie to work. Unfortunately, it's similar to Diesel. Didn't have any credible heels to work with because
they had to
Angle was hurt.
Bradshaw heel just for him to work
because Angle was injured, Big Show was injured.
Brock was gone.
So he had nobody to work with.
And you weren't going to turn Eddie heel because that would just be fucking stupid.
No.
So, and that goes to show you how pretty weak and kind of barren the SmackDown's
roster was at the time.
Because, let's be fair, if Triple H was going to go to SmackDown, he would have won the title immediately from Eddie.
Maybe not immediately, maybe in a couple of months, like Great American Bash. Because, of course, people forget, like, Eddie was the one who made the call to drop it to JBL because he realized house shows weren't drawing with him as champion. And to his credit, Eddie felt like it was his fault, even though it wasn't his fault, really. It was just lack of heels. But, and also with Eddie feeling the pressures of being champion, he didn't want to end up falling to the pressure and end up relapsing on drugs and alcohol, which I give him credit for. Which leads us to JBL having the belt for 9 months. The longest run for anybody since Diesel, if you can believe that.
I'm back.
Okay, so here's my thing with JBL's run. It's better than I remembered it to being. Like, the matches he had with Eddie after winning were really good, obviously. But then, of course, the weak matches with Taker at SummerSlam and No Mercy. Did have a solid match with Booker T and a pretty good Fatal 4-Way with Booker, Taker, and Eddie. The triple threat with Big Show and Angle was solid. The cage match with Big Show was the barbed wire cage match at No Way Out was really good. Probably the best match he had during the run.
Nah, I'd say the cage match with Eddie on SmackDown, personally.
Well, yeah, I forgot about that one. Big Show's barbed wire cage match, second best.
The thing with JBL,
you could tell he only got the belt because there were no other heels.
He got it way too soon. That's my thing with JBL. I get why they did it. And also, not to mention, too, is that, yeah, he was a chicken shit heel. The problem is the faction he had was a bunch of fucking jabronis. You had the Basham brothers and Orlando Jordan.
Well, the Basham brothers were solid. Well, the Basham brothers were a really good team during this era. So I do give them credit. They were like one of the only true blue tag teams SmackDown had at this point. So not a bad pick. Orlando Jordan, though, definitely felt weird.
You could have honestly...
But at the very least, Orlando Jordan got to become a better mid-carder because of this. Like, he did get the U.S. title eventually.
Yeah, but you could have probably put the Dudleys in that position.
Well, the Dudleys were on their way out.
Well, yeah, I know, but at least give them some inspiration.
And it wouldn't. I don't think it would have fit him and them and Bradshaw. I don't think that would have fit. Yeah. But anyways, I would say JBL's run, I give it a C. Yeah. Wasn't the worst thing in the world.
It's probably the most divisive WWE champion of all time. Arguably. I'd say arguably.
Which leads us to the first of 13, or actually 14 runs for John Cena. Now, of course, the match when he beat JBL, very anticlimactic and very forgettable.
It was.
However, the I Quit match at Judgment Day was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The triple, and then of course you get to the biggest mistake WWE made with Cena, putting him on Raw too quickly after winning the belt.
I felt like they should have done that after SummerSlam.
Or wait a year to have him go to Raw. Like, let him be on SmackDown for another year with the belt to see how he would have done. And also, SmackDown's roster, by the time the draft came around, got better. Like, you got Randy Orton in there, you got Benoit in there, so Cena could have worked Benoit a couple matches, and also, we could have gotten the Cena-Orton feud much sooner than we did.
Oh, yeah.
And it would have worked. And
plus, Eddie was turning heel, so you could have
redone Cena Eddie again, but with the roles reversed.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of potential for Cena if he had stayed on SmackDown, but they wanted him on the Big Show. And granted, the triple threat with Jericho and Christian at Vengeance was really good. The match at SummerSlam with Jericho was very good, probably the
really
best
good match.
Really good. And then the two matches he had with Kurt at Unforgiven and Survivor Series, really good.
Yeah.
And then the Elimination Chamber match, great Elimination Chamber. So this was his second longest run he had with the belt, 9 months. I'd say A.
Yeah, A almost kind of B. I was trying to think of like what other ones he had. Granted, yeah.
Well, we'll get to them. At SummerSlam was where the crowd started to become split with him. But that was on WWE for putting him up against Jericho, who no matter heel or face, fans were going to love, no matter what he said or did.
Yeah.
Which leads us to, after Elimination Chamber at New Year's Revolution, we get the big moment of the Edge cash-in, which the moment itself, amazing moment. And then his first defense, great TLC match with Ric Flair.
Yes,
so I'd say D for both.
Ric Flair in 2006. Holy shit! That guy was doing everything. He was in ladder matches. He was in I Quit matches. He had an Extreme Rules match with Big Show. For God's sake.
He was Madman in 2006. Absolute madman.
Holy shit!
Honestly, I would say 2006 was Flair's best year he had.
One of the best
since '92.
It was the last great year he had, because afterwards,
07 he was up and down, and then you get to the Mania 20.
With Edge, unfortunately, as great, and not to mention the live sex celebration, which they didn't want to do.
The moment of him winning the belt in the TLC match, I think, has to put him at least D, even though it was only 4 weeks.
Yeah, and again, the live sex celebration, which got them a huge ratings boost, even though they didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Which leads us to Cena's second run when he beat Edge at the Rumble. Had it for 6 months, so the match he had with Edge for the belt, winning it, was solid. And then the match with Triple H at Mania 22 was good, but they would have better matches later. But the match with RVD when he lost the belt was a great match. So,
and the triple threat at Backlash was really fucking
good. Triple threat with Triple H and Edge was really good. So I'd say
here's my problem with Cena.
He shouldn't have won it back so quick.
He should have won it at. If you wanted him to win the title back, have him win it
at Mania against Edge. Win the belt from Edge.
And if you want to put Hunter in there, fine. And you could do the
rematch. Have the triple threat, and he could have pinned Triple H, so that way you'd keep Edge from having to take the fall. But at the same time, do we sacrifice Edge and Foley for that, though?
Strike while the iron's really hot. Want to? You got to strike while the iron's hot. You got to think. I get it. I know James and Scott say it all too, but dude was white hot with heat. He was the most hated guy in the company. You didn't give him the main event. I'm sorry, that's stupid.
But anyways, so then we get to Rob Van Dam's only run, which sadly it has to go in the F. I mean, the moment was great, but then he fucked himself over by getting pulled over literally 20 minutes away from my house.
With Sabu. Yep. And that fucked him over in so many ways to one, because he just got the new ECW title, and he had to drop that immediately to Big Show after dropping the title to Edge, and he was suspended for 60 days? Or 30 days?
30, 60, I forget. But anyways, then we get to Edge's second run with the belt, which was longer. I mean, the main thing you know about it is the Cena feud continuing. Like, they had a solid match at SummerSlam, but an amazing TLC match at Unforgiven.
Yeah.
So I would say C.
The one thing we did forget about the RVD, him and Edge had a really good match at Vengeance.
That's true, yeah.
And then we get to Cena's
third run. 380-day run. 380. So the match when he won the belt from Edge was amazing. Then for the rest of 2006, it was weird with Cena. Like, he was back and forth between Raw and SmackDown because he was feuding with Booker T or King Booker and Finlay helping East out. And then, but thankfully after 2006 ended, then we get to the Umaga feud, which was great.
You forgot one?
Kevin found one, but I'm going to leave it at that. Not going any further than that, so don't even bother. But anyways, the Umaga feud was great. Like, the New Year's Revolution match was really good, but the Last Man Standing at Royal Rumble, incredible match. And that was proper booking for Cena being an underdog. They did that so well.
it would have made the match better if they didn't have Umaga lose his winning streak, in my opinion.
Yeah, if they would have waited for Umaga to lose at the Rumble instead of at New Year's Revolution, it would have been even better.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it. At some point, Umaga had to lose, and Cena was probably one of the best choices. But they could have waited a few more weeks.
And then the winning the tag titles with Shawn, and then eventually.
But then we get to the Mania match, which was an amazing main event, one of the best in Mania history. But then afterwards, the greatest match in Monday Night Raw history, an hour London Marathon with Shawn. Then the 4-way with Shawn, Edge, and Orton was really good. And hell.
Fucking match.
And hell. He got semi-decent matches out of Great Khali during this run. I think that alone, and then even a great match with... Actually, before that, good... I guess it was a 5-way match with Orton, Booker, Lashley, and Mick Foley.
Yeah, it was at Vengeance, yep.
Which was a solid match, but great match with Bobby Lashley at the Great American Bash. Great match with Randy Orton to start their seemingly endless feud. And then a good match with Orton at Unforgiven. Yeah, and then a good match with Orton at Unforgiven. It's just a shame, though. It is really a fucking shame that this run had to end because of injury instead of dropping the belt outright to Orton at No Mercy like they was going to.
All right. Sorry, I had to shut my door. My parents just got home. Yeah, no, I think what you were just saying, that is probably like the biggest complaint I had with Cena's title reign. He didn't
get to lose it properly.
Yeah, because he fucked his pectoral by doing a hip toss to
Mr. Kennedy. Yeah. But because of the quality of matches and the fact that he got semi-decent matches out of Khali, call me crazy, I go S tier.
Yeah. I mean...
Plus, it was the longest title run since Diesel.
You could argue he probably could have dropped the title to Shawn, but at the same time...
But Shawn wouldn't have wanted to win the belt anyways.
Shawn didn't really need it. It would have been nice, but Shawn didn't need it. So.
Well, I mean, there were a couple of times, mainly in 2008, where perhaps Shawn should have won the big gold belt, but didn't.
Yeah.
Like, particularly in the Jericho feud. You could argue he should have gotten the belt, even if it was short term. But I get it. Shawn didn't want to be world champion anymore.
Yeah.
So then we get to No Mercy 07's Calamity, where we first have Randy Orton's first run, which has to go into F by default because he would lose it to Triple H that night, which, granted, he had the belt for one more match, which was a great match with Umaga.
Yep.
And then the match in which he'd lose it back to Orton was great. So I'd say even though it was one night, D, because he did have back-to-back great matches.
I guess.
Which leads us to Randy's second run with the belt, where he'd get the belt back from Triple H. His first proper run, which was actually pretty lengthy run, because he wins it at No Mercy from Triple H. Then has a really good
Backlash too, didn't he?
And then he wins, in a great underrated match with Jericho at Armageddon. Well, actually, wait, I almost forgot.
The Shawn feud.
Cyber Sunday and Survivor Series classics with Shawn. Most particularly Survivor Series.
That Survivor Series match was so fucking great. The only reason why I think that match gets overlooked a little bit is because
yeah, well, I would even say that match, Orton Shawn, was better than Hell in a Cell, quality-wise.
Tough. I do love
it. Is tough. It is tough. That Hell in a Cell match is great between Taker and Batista, but I'd say objectively, Shawn Orton was a better match.
Objectively, yeah. But yeah, the match with Jericho was good. The match
with Jeff Hardy at Royal Rumble was great. And then the match with Cena at No Way Out, despite the, at the time, stupid, but looking back on it, brilliant finish for Heat.
Well, the stipulation made no. Why the fuck are you cashing your Rumble opportunity?
That didn't make sense. That didn't make sense, I will admit. And then the triple threat with Cena and Triple H was very good. Shocking, shocked that wasn't the main event of that WrestleMania, and shocking that Orton retained.
Won, yeah. We thought it was going to be Hunter or Cena. And then the Backlash match, which they threw JBL in there for reasons. That was a good main event, too.
So I'd say for Orton's second run, I go A.
Yeah. It's better than his first world title
Arguably, I'd say arguably Orton's best run with a world title.
I would say it's his best. Because like his first world heavyweight title reign, that was fucking terrible. And then him actually winning the WWE title here was a legitimate great reign. So yeah, I would say yeah, the best.
And then we get to Triple H's seventh run with the belt.
Yeah, 7th. Because he won the world heavyweight title, I think, 5 times?
4 times.
Yeah, something like that.
But anyways, and so Triple H's next run with the WWE title, winning it from Orton. I think it was still he and Orton feuding, which led to the last man standing match where Orton broke his collarbone.
Yeah, they had the cage match at Judgment Day, which was a solid match.
But their last man standing match was better. And then, similar to Cena, he actually got a semi-decent match out of Great Khali at SummerSlam.
That is not saying a lot, though. That is such a low fucking bar.
But still, it just goes to show you how much, like, the testament of Triple H as a worker.
Yeah.
And as a performer. And then the championship scramble, which sucks that those short reigns with the belt during that match don't count in this. But that championship scramble match was great, and I wish they would do that match again.
Brian Kendrick was a WWE champion for 10 minutes. I think.
Yep. And then, of course, unfortunately, though, you do get the stinker with Vladimir fucking Kozlov.
We did get those Hardy matches, though.
Yeah, we did get the Jeff Hardy matches, which were very, very good.
Great matches. Dude, that
I'd say
match, they teased the fuck out of that crowd that Hardy thought he was going to win the title.
So I would actually say B for this run.
I would say it's his second best reign behind his first reign and going into 2000 personally. Because he actually had a really good run. And the hot take, better than any of his world heavyweight title reigns during his reign of terror.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Him and Edge actually had a good match at Great American Bash, too, I believe.
Speaking of Edge, we get to Edge's third run with the belt.
He's here!
Where the moment of coming back out of nowhere and winning the belt was cool, but he only had it for a month.
A month before dropping it to Jeff.
To Jeff Hardy in his only run with the belt, which, again, a month, but again, similar to Eddie, one of the best title wins and moments ever. Like, holy shit, they actually gave Jeff the belt after all this time. And then the match where he lost it back to Edge was a great match that led to the feud with Jeff and Matt. So I would say D for Jeff. I think even his
champion.
Yeah, he was a prime example of being better as a chaser than being a champion.
Kind of like
because even his world heavyweight title run was about on par with this, where it was only a month.
It was a very Sting-like thing with him. Like, he was a better chaser than champion.
Which leads us to, where are you, Edgeward? There you are. Edge's final run with the belt, where he won it from Jeff at the Rumble and held it for a month until No Way Out, which I'm trying to remember who he wrestled at the Rumble that year. Or no, it was Jeff. It was Jeff.
At the Chamber? Is that who you're
At the Chamber, he was in the Chamber match.
It was him.
The first of two Chamber matches.
Him, Hardy, Big Show, Kozlov, Taker, and Triple H.
Which was a great Chamber match.
Yeah. And then for
and
the
he would
world,
drop it, and he dropped it to Triple H. So
Triple H, and
I'd
then
say
he would later
D.
go on to go into the world.
But anyways, and then we get to
Triple
H's 8th run with the belt, which, yeah, him winning the belt in the Chamber made sense because, with Orton winning the Rumble and the McMahon feud with Orton. Though the only thing is, Orton should have been the babyface.
He was Stone Cold Steve Austin. How was that?
He was. He was essentially Austin during that time.
When is beating on the McMahons a bad thing in WWE? Have you not seen the shit Vince was doing prior?
I mean, if I could go back in time, yeah, Orton, I would have turned Orton babyface after he punted Vince, and hell, make the Legacy group babyfaces with Cody and DiBiase Jr.
Exactly.
To go up against the McMahons.
Vince was going to fire Orton for literally no reason.
Yeah. So, yeah, if anything, Triple H should have been the heel in this match.
And not to mention, the balls immediately got cut off from under the match when you can't be disqualified and you can't use any weapons whatsoever. It has to be a regular match when these two are literally invading each other's homes. What the fuck?
So, yeah, I put Triple H's run here at a D for that reason alone. Mm-hmm. Which would lead us to, was it Orton again?
Yep, it was Orton because
Orton's
it was
third run with
it was a 6-man. It was a 6-man tag. It was him.
It was Orton, DiBiase, and Rhodes versus Triple H, Batista, and Shane.
Yep, and whoever got the pin was the champion. That's when
Orton got the pin. So Orton, I'm trying to remember who he worked with at Judgment Day.
Batista.
It was Batista. So it was only a 1-month run before he would drop it to Batista, his first run with the belt, which unfortunately injured, had to vacate.
Didn't he? What kind of injury did he suffer?
I think it was a torn bicep, I think.
Okay. It was something like that. I can't remember. Poor Dave. Poor Dave.
Which would lead to Orton again, I presume.
Yeah. He
so Orton's fourth run with the belt.
He defeated, I think it was Triple H, Cena, and Big Show
in a match for the vacant belt.
Yep.
So then this would begin his fourth run, which he would have until Breaking Point, which now we get into the monotonous part of the Cena feud.
The hot potato feud, essentially.
Yeah,
he retains the title against Cena in a very, very lackadaisical match at SummerSlam, and then he drops the belt to Cena, which was
So now we need to find the right picture. I think we'll just use this one for the time being.
It doesn't matter.
So Cena's fourth run with the belt,
which he held it for a month.
Yeah, fourth run. Held it for a month before going back to Randy.
Back at Hell in a Cell. Which, deep, and then Cena won it back again.
Cena again.
At bragging rights.
But at least Cena would now finally get to have a decent run with the belt again. Because winning it at bragging rights, and then the amazing triple threat with DX, Hunter and Shawn at Survivor Series. Amazing triple threat. And then I'm trying to remember.
He dropped it to Sheamus.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
In the tables match. Because that's when Cena got fucking pushed off.
Yeah, so then we get to the first of 3 Sheamus runs, which...
Yay!
I'm saying F. Honestly, you know what? Screw it. Let's just talk about all 3 runs. Because they all are very much the same. They were all very much the same.
Well, okay.
Because, let's save... I'll tell you what. We'll save Sheamus. But anyways, like the match in which he defended against Orton, it was decent, but again, wins by shenanigans. Mm-hmm. And then the match in which he loses the belt in the Elimination Chamber was a great match, but he couldn't even get eliminated last.
No, he got eliminated by Hunter.
Yeah. And then that would lead to Cena winning the belt for a 5th time, but only hold it for a few minutes because we get to Batista.
Dave's final reign.
His final run as a world champion, period, which
lasted a month.
About a month. But of course, But
He
of
dropped it
course,
back
like
to
the
Cena.
promos, because the promos, I mean, they were great, like kissing babies and hugging fat girls.
What the hell happened to this business?
Which leads us to Cena's 4th or 6th run with the belt.
Yep.
Which this is primarily the Batista feud again. They had a really good match at
Extreme Rules and then Over
at
the Limit.
Extreme Rules, and then an awesome Last Man Standing match at Over the Limit. I would say
switch.
Flip it. Over the Limit and then Extreme Rules. But yeah, the Last Man Standing at Extreme Rules, I would say is just as great as their match at SummerSlam 08. They're about equal. They're both awesome matches.
The only thing that was dumb was that Cena had to use duct tape, and that's when Dave was like, duct tape.
And then the Fatal 4-Way match in which he would lose the belt was solid. So I actually say B for his 6th run.
Yeah, I will say this. Hollywood Dave at the end of Batista's run, fucking awesome. I loved it. It was great.
Now we get to Sheamus' second run, which sadly blends in with his first run. It was basically the same thing. It was the Cena feud and couldn't win matches clean. Yeah, he won because of interference from the Nexus twice, and then retains the belt against Orton by DQ, and then lost in a multi-man match at Night of Champions. So F again.
That included Barrett, Jericho, Edge,
Orton,
Cena, Orton, and yeah. Which that was one of Jericho's last Jericho's, yeah.
Which leads to Orton's, 6th run?
Some shit like that. These reigns blend together. They really do.
But yeah, Orton's next run, again, mainly the Barrett feud, which they had decent matches, but nothing special. Honestly, I'm going to say D.
That match, he had a Hell in a Cell match with Sheamus, which kind of sucked. It wasn't that great. I think those two did have, a street fight on Raw or SmackDown. I think that match was actually not that bad. I think it was 2010.
Which leads us to The Miz cashing in. The moment of him cashing in was awesome. Hell, both of the matches he had with Lawler were really good.
Yeah, their
really
TLC
good
match
matches.
Was all right.
The TLC match was the better of the two.
The thing is, though,
and then also the first Raw of 2011, great match with John Morrison.
Oh, that was such a good match.
Great match between those two. And then, kind of iffy after that, aside from the Lawler stuff. And then the match with Cena at WrestleMania, not great at all, plus getting concussed. But the match in which he lost the belt to and the triple threat with Morrison and Cena in the cage was pretty solid. Honestly, I'd say C.
He tried. The thing with the Miz is that he was not ready. They put the belt on way too fucking soon. Because promo wise, he was pretty good. If they would have put the belt on him in 2016, though,
or hell, even 2012 when he started doing the Hollywood gimmick.
Maybe, but you had Punk and all that stuff. But yeah, no. The thing with the Miz is that the Alex Riley stuff. I mean, hell, here's my thing. Him and Orton had a tables match at TLC just to have a regular match at the Rumble. Why did they keep ass backwards booking that? I don't get it.
But then that leads us to Cena's 7th run with the belt. So been around here. So Cena's 7th run, it's mainly 2 matches. He had the match with R-Truth at Capital Punishment. But the thing that makes this one, obviously, the big classic with Punk at Money in the Bank. But I'm still going to go C.
He did have an I Quit match with Miz, which sucked. Yeah. That was not a good match. Oh, God.
But anyways.
2011 was not that good of a year for WWE.
Well, in spots.
It was very spotty.
But anyways, and then we get to CM Punk's first run. Okay, the moment was incredible. The match was outstanding. The only problem is they waited too or they didn't wait long enough to bring him back to TV.
They brought
Honestly,
him back way too soon.
They shouldn't have brought him back until like probably Survivor Series. If you ask me.
Could have.
What you should have done, what they should have done after the Cena Rock Miz R-Truth match, Punk show up and confront both Cena and Rock.
Yeah, you could.
That would have been an incredible moment in MSG as well. But we got what we got. And then the match where he defended against Cena at SummerSlam was really good, but I would say still their weakest match. I think their Night of Champions match this year was better than the SummerSlam 2011 match. They're about on the same par, but I think Night of Champions was a little bit better. But then, of course, him getting cashed in on. I'll say C. I'll be generous and put this run in C because of the Cena stuff.
Is Ray's reign in here?
Ray's reign is in here too, which sadly has to be an F. Which also leads
to... Did that happen?
Cena's... Yeah, or when did it happen?
When did that happen?
And then Cena getting the belt for the 8th time.
Cena's a baby face.
So yeah, I would say this run was Cena's worst because it was only a month before he would officially drop it to Punk. Which leads us to Alberto Del Rio's first.
Notable prick, Alberto Del Rio.
Cashing in on Punk after the Kevin Nash thing, and then he defends it against Cena.
He only held it for a month.
He had it for 3 months. Or 2 months.
No, because after SummerSlam, he lost it immediately at Night of Champions.
Oh yeah, to Cena again. Yeah,
and then that's when he won the belt back.
And then we get to Cena's next run, which sadly will go in F as well. And then Del Rio. And then Del Rio's second run, which was only a month, in F. But now, finally...
Well, Punk finally won.
Wait, why is Punk on here 3 times? I thought it was only 2 times. Oh, they must have been counting whenever he came back with the belt.
Oh, that probably, maybe.
So, officially, Punk's second run when he beat Del Rio, and then... Let's go through the highlights. So, defends in a really good TLC triple threat with Del Rio and Miz. Great match with Ziggler at the Rumble. Great Elimination Chamber match. And then a great match with Jericho at WrestleMania, but an awesome street fight with Jericho at Extreme Rules. Phenomenal match with Bryan at Over the Limit. Great triple threat with Bryan and Kane at No Way Out. Awesome match with Bryan again. 1000 Raw against Cena in a great match, and then a really good triple threat with Cena and Big Show. Then a phenomenal Night of Champions match with Cena. Then the one black eye of the run was the Ryback stuff. Then a good triple threat, and then hold the fuck up. Then a good triple threat with Ryback and Cena, and then an okay match with Ryback, and then even the match where he lost it to The Rock. Awesome match. So, honestly, even though he was, in the beginning, like the first half of the run before he turned heel, was treated like a mid-card world champion, but when he got to be heel, finally became a main event world champion, so I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. And again, the Ryback match at Hell in a Cell
was supposed to have been Cena, but Cena was hurt. And they
plus,
had no
him
other
and Ryback, I believe, were supposed to be at TLC, but that's when Punk got hurt.
Punk got hurt again.
Because Ryback's a fart smeller, or a smart fella. I'm a big fucking idiot. You're right, Bill.
But now we get to The Rock's final run with the belt, which was only...
2 months.
2 months plus, which the match where he beat Punk for the belt at the Rumble was great. Hell, their rematch at Elimination Chamber was just as great.
That was pretty good.
And then the match where he lost it to Cena, it was essentially finish spamming, but it wasn't terrible. It was just okay.
Rock got hurt during the match, so...
Yeah, so I'll say C.
Well, the thing is, too, they did not need to put the title on him. That match with Cena did not need to be for the title. If those two were going to have a match at Mania for the title, Punk should have been.
Punk should have been in there and Rock take the fall.
Exactly. Yep.
So
Or
honestly,
if
so
you
you
want
could
to
argue,
say,
so you could argue, Punk should have went into Mania as champion.
I would have.
And if you were going to drop it to Cena, Cena could have pinned Rock, and you wouldn't have hurt Punk. And I guarantee you, if that happened, if Punk would have been in that match and got the main event, even if he won or lost, Punk would have stayed in the company after 2014
yeah.
because he would have been happier.
Mm-hmm. And hell, what you could have done is you could have had, Punk win the title or win at the
Or
Rumble
keep the
from
belt at the
shenanigans
Rumble.
from Shield, and then
Yep.
you could have had The Rock say, "Okay, if the Shield and if I win, I'm going to Mania, but the Shield interferes, I'm winning." And boom, you could have had a triple threat because Cena would have won the Rumble anyway.
Yeah. Or
I just
hell,
thought-
and as I've even said before too, honestly, they should have given Ryback the Rumble and Big Show hold the world title through WrestleMania and have Ryback just win the big gold belt
Yeah, to
in a
avenge
short
themselves.
match, and so that way you wouldn't have to give another Rumble win to Cena. But
It would've
anyway,
sa-
so
it would've
now
saved
we
us
get
from
to
Ryback and Mark Henry.
so now we get to Cena's 11th reign with the belt,
Yeah.
which he wins it from The Rock, and then you actually had some really good matches with Ryback. Like their match at Extreme Rules, awesome. Their match at Payback, awesome.
Right.
And then Mark Henry had Money in the Bank, actually a great match. It's just the problem was
you could have argued they should have put the title on Mark at that point.
Even if he was only going to keep the belt on Mark for like a week, they should have capitalized on that fake retirement promo and given Mark the belt, even if it was for a cup of coffee, and put the belt back on Cena. It would have worked. So, and then the match where he lost to Bryan was outstanding. So honestly, for this run, I'm personally going to say A.
Mm-hmm.
For this run, I'd say it's about on par with his first reign.
It's better than all of his other reigns,
aside from his 380-day run.
Yeah.
Which then leads us to Daniel Bryan's first, which was sadly short, because then we get to Randy Orton. Randy Orton again, which this began the hot potatoing between he and Bryan. So then Bryan gets the belt for a second time, and then you get the vacancy, and then you get their match at I think it was Battleground, which ended in a no contest because of Big Show, and then a great Hell in a Cell match with Orton, in which it would lead to Orton's 7th.
Why did Shawn turn heel again? I just a quick question.
That's the only thing that's iffy about that match. But then we get Orton, I think, for his 7th time, and also unifying it with the big gold belt eventually. But yeah, he had the
World Heavyweight and WWE.
He beat Bryan for the belt at Hell in a Cell in a great match. Sadly, you get one of the worst Survivor Series matches ever with Big Show. But then you get the unification match with Cena and the TLC match, which was actually a great match. Probably
it was one of their better matches.
Probably the second best match of their feud, to be honest. And then rematch with Cena at the Rumble, not that great.
No one cared.
The Elimination Chamber match he had for the belt was great.
That was a great match.
And then the match where he lost to Triple Threat was awesome. I'll say C.
Yeah, it started off pretty bland after the Bryan matches, but it picked up a little bit.
It picked up a little bit with first Cena match and then the Triple Threat.
However, it did start the Authority, which I felt like never fucking ended. So,
Which leads us to Bryan's 3rd run with the belt, which, of course, I was there for the moment and it was awesome. And he only had one proper defense, and it was against Kane in what was an awesome Extreme Rules match with Kane. Kane going through a burning table. Come on.
I think he did technically have a match with Triple H on Raw, and that's what led the Shield turning face. I think let the Shield.
They turned face before Mania when they helped.
Yeah, I know. I meant to say
but officially breaking away from the Authority. Yeah. Officially. But the match with Kane was awesome. But unfortunately, the story of that feud was dumb, where
It sucked.
Kane kidnapped Brie, and that's why we get the match.
Oh,
we was
shit.
supposed to have gotten the Buried Alive match between Bryan and Kane at Payback, but because Bryan got the neck injury and had to vacate the belt the night after Payback, or the week after Payback, sadly, his run's going to have to go in D.
I just saw this. Almost is in Triple Mania. Let's go, Almo Sapiens!
But moving on, so we
No,
get the
real quick.
we get the Bryan vacancy. What?
I was about to say, Bryan's title reign, it was a thing of what could have been. It was
If
a big
he
what
didn't
if.
get hurt. If he didn't get hurt.
Because he was supposed to drop the title to Brock.
Which we'll talk about in a moment, which leads us to Cena's 12th run with the belt, which fans were not happy. I remember some of my friends on YouTube were pissed off, and I thought they were stupid for it, because we all knew what was coming, and it worked. So Cena, sadly, this run will have to go in F, because it was only a month and a half. But then we get to Brock's 4th run with the belt, which started the trend of Lesnar's part-time run, which I will admit, I was not a fan of him being champion at the time, but looking back, he is the perfect world champion. He does not have to be there all the time to defend the belt, people.
It's
he
more
does
of an
not
attraction.
have to.
It's an
Exactly.
attraction.
You're actually making the belt and the champion mean something again. It becomes this whole thing, like, we need to get the belt back so we can see it more often. That's what it became, and it was a proper goal to go after. And it's like, and he had a couple defenses. Again, let's talk about the match where he won. Greatest squash match in the history of the business.
I would dare say the funniest match of all time.
One of them. And then the defense he had with Cena at Night of Champions was okay, but stupid finish. Then the triple threat with Cena and Rollins at the Rumble, phenomenal triple threat.
The match
and then
the
match with Roman before the cash-in was a great match, looking back.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, despite it not being there often, I'm still going to give this a B.
Yeah.
Because particularly for the triple threat and the Mania match.
My whole mentality is that, like, with the title not being on TV every day, it gives it more. It makes it more special. That's why I'm trying to say.
Actually, make it have meaning again.
Yeah, and seeing the title every week is cool, but you're also going to overexpose, and it's going to kind of wear out the crowd. So that's why when Brock went part-time, and when Cena was going to be part-time, when Roman was part-time, it made the chase bigger to go after, like with the whole thing with Cody and all that stuff.
But anyways, moving on from there, then we get to the first of two for Rollins. Arguably the greatest cash-in of all time. It's between it and Edge's first. The moment was great, and then the run itself. So he goes on to defend against Roman, Orton, and Ambrose.
He faced Orton in the cage
at Extreme Rules, which was solid. And then a great four-way with Orton, Roman, and Ambrose at Payback. Great match with Ambrose at Elimination Chamber. Awesome ladder match with Ambrose at Money in the Bank. Awesome back-to-back matches with Cena, despite the stupid finish of SummerSlam with Jon Stewart, was still an awesome match. And then the Night of Champions match with Cena, despite it being for the U.S. title. Hell, the match he had afterwards with Sting was great, despite Sting getting hurt.
Until Sting nearly died.
But he still kept going.
Yeah,
and then gave Kane his final great match at
that was actually Hell
in a Cell. Great match with Kane.
Him and Cena, whenever they would face for the U.S. title, those matches were fucking great. Even the one where Cena's nose got busted open. Oh,
Yeah.
The match he had with Neville on Raw was fucking awesome too.
Yeah. It's just this is another one where, similar to Cena's third run, it's a shame he didn't get to drop it properly.
I think he was going to drop it to Roman at
Survivor Series. But despite, like, character-wise, like, he was starting to spin his wheels a little bit as a heel, the matches were always awesome, so I'd say A.
I felt like also, too, with the knee injury, I felt like that kind of helped him in a way, too, because his character was
starting to change when he came back.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the vacancy, and we finally get to Roman's first run, which F because of F, Sheamus cashing in, and Sheamus's final world title run. Sheamus's final world title run of anything, and only had it for a month. Granted, he did have a great match with Roman at TLC, but better the next night on Raw when he would drop it back to Roman. And that was the one night where they finally got booking with Roman right and got popped by Philadelphia, the same crowd that booed him earlier in the year at the Rumble.
Yeah, because
seems like things are good.
This guy is a badass. Why don't we showcase him being a badass? Wow.
Only for them to cut his balls off a month later by having him defend the belt in the Royal Rumble match.
Yep.
So F there, which leads us to Triple H's final run with the belt. So
which no one wanted. No one wanted.
Well, they wanted it more than Roman being champion. Looking back on it, they'd rather have Triple H win the world again than Roman winning it. But of course, two defenses. The first one he had with Ambrose at Roadblock was actually a great match. But they should have put the belt on Ambrose at that show.
You could have put the
or wait and do that match at Mania, Ambrose and Triple H, and Ambrose win the belt at Mania. But instead, well, I'm going to put this run in D because of that match with Ambrose. But then we get
him and Ziggler had a match on Raw that was actually really, really, really good.
And then we get to Roman's third reign with the belt, where it's like, okay, now he's officially coronated. Oh shit, the fans still hate him. So yeah, the match where he beat Triple H was bad. But the thing that makes this run, the back-to-back great matches with AJ Styles, and even the match where he lost it to Rollins, great match too. So this third run, for the match quality, I'm going to go B.
Yeah. Even though he was getting destroyed by the crowd every single week, it was bad. You thought Cena getting reactions was bad? He makes Roman look like nothing. That's child's play.
He makes it's like Roman made Cena look like Austin.
Exactly. It was bad.
Which leads us to Rollins' final run with the WWE Championship, which was for a couple of minutes before the cash in on by Dean, which the moment of Dean cashing in was amazing, getting the ultimate revenge on Rollins, and then the triple threat with Rollins and Reigns at Battleground was amazing, even though it should have been at SummerSlam instead.
Mm-hmm.
And then the match with Ziggler was all right at SummerSlam.
It had a good build, but the payoff was very lackadaisical.
But the match in which he would lose the belt to, I think it was the triple threat with AJ and Cena.
No. Cena.
Or it was one-on-one with AJ.
It was one-on-one at Backlash, and then the triple threat came out.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, I will say C. It was a disappointment considering we wanted Ambrose to get the belt so fucking bad, and he finally got it.
I felt like they should have put the belt on him sooner.
Way sooner. Like they should have put the belt on him at Survivor Series instead of Roman.
Yeah, and then if you want, Sheamus to cash in and then take Dean out for a little bit, and then Roman get revenge on Dean, you could have done that.
So, which leads us to AJ Styles' first run. So, the triple threat with Ambrose and Cena was great. Mm-hmm. The TLC match with Ambrose was awesome. But, of course, the match we remember this run for was when he lost it to Cena at the Rumble in arguably the third best non-Royal Rumble match in Royal Rumble history behind Cactus, Triple H, and Angle Benoit. And I will still say Cena and AJ's best match they ever had. Their SummerSlam 2016 match is a very close second.
Yeah.
But Rumble 2017 was, no pun intended, phenomenal.
Hell, even the stuff with Ellsworth was entertaining.
Even though they ran it into the fucking ground.
They did. Hell, I think AJ defended against Corbin and Ziggler. I think that was actually a pretty good match. Yeah, Baron Corbin had good matches in 2016. I'm just saying.
So AJ's first run, I'll go B.
Yeah, I see.
Which leads us to Cena's 13th run with the belt, which was literally 2 weeks.
Yep, because he dropped it to
Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace. So the match in which Bray won, one of the best Elimination Chamber matches of all time, and beating AJ in the end to do it, not even Cena.
Yep.
But unfortunately, you had a bad match with Randy at WrestleMania.
Too short. Way too fucking short. Hell, you could have argued Bray should have won the title sooner.
Yeah. One could argue.
And hell, honestly, it should have been a triple threat with Orton, Harper, and Bray.
Yeah, because Harper was in the mix too, because he had that awesome match with Randy at Elimination Chamber.
And plus, with the whole thing of Orton and Bray and Harper being tag champions, they could have done something, but
they could have done a triple threat at Mania, and it would have been probably really, really good. So there you go. Which leads us to...
Somehow Orton was the face despite the fact he committed arson.
Yeah. Which leads us to Randy's 9th run? 9th run with the belt?
Title in particular.
Well, no, this would have been his 13th.
I thought it was a 14th
overall world title.
Oh, no, that's Triple H. That's Triple H, my bad.
No. Orton is a 14-time champion. This is his 13th run we're at as a world champion, but his 9th with the WWE Championship.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, the match winning it was bad with Bray, and then he had the
House of Horrors match, which was dumb. And then the match in which he lost, which we'll talk about him in just a second, wasn't that good either. So, sadly, this was probably his worst run he ever had. Which leads to... Can I take the floor with this one?
Yes.
Ricky, this is for you. Jinder fucking Mahal!
Despite having the belt for so long, worst WWE champion of all time.
I would say of the modern era, yes, of all time, he's up there. I'm not sure if he's all time.
I think it's all time, because was there any good matches in this run? No. They were all very much basic matches. And on top of that, the thing that hurts me the most about this, he's the one who ends Nakamura's unbeaten streak on the main roster.
Well,
really?
But it was false advertisement because they wanted to push the Indian market, and he's not even Indian; he's Canadian.
Well, so he's Indian. Well, he's Indian in background.
Yeah, but
no, he's Indian in background, but was born in Canada.
Oh, okay. I thought he was born in Canada, but
he's born in Canada, but he's got an Indian background.
And not to mention, too, the dude was a jobber a week before he won the #1 contender.
Yep.
My God, the matches with Orton were terrible, especially that Punjabi prison match, which that's saying something.
Who the hell wanted that match type
he should have won. He should have lost the title to Nakamura at SummerSlam.
But
he kept doing that. And hell, him and Brock never ended up happening because Brock didn't want to work him.
Which... thank God, because that would lead to AJ's second and final run, which would be over a year.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will say the match when he beat Jinder was actually good. It was a good match when he beat him.
Yeah, that was a
fun and then the amazing match with Brock at Survivor Series, champion versus champion. And hell, even the rematch with Jinder at Night of Champions was actually good again. Then you get to him getting embroiled in the Shane,
yeah.
Bryan, Sammy KO stuff.
Yeah.
Which, granted, the triple threat with KO, was it the triple threat with
No,
KO
2
and
on 1.
Sammy?
It was a handicap match.
Handicap. Even that was still a really good match.
Yeah.
All things
And then
considered.
the 6-pack challenge was actually really fucking good at Fastlane.
And then we get the Nakamura feud, which, okay, objectively, the match they had at Mania was still pretty good, but should have been a classic.
Massively disappointing match.
It was a big disappointment. It was still pretty good, but it wasn't what it should have been.
They advertised it as a big dream match, but it had two very mid results. And then Nakamura turns heel for no fucking reason, so there goes your push. Had a decent match at Backlash, had a stupid fucking ending. Great match at Monday.
Great match on SmackDown. Great match on SmackDown.
Yeah, the great match on SmackDown. Fantastic last man standing match. And then we get to the Joe feud.
Which they had very damn good matches during the Joe feud.
And
like SummerSlam was great. And of course,
promos.
Oh, Wendy!
Oh, Wendy!
And hell, they even had a great match at fucking Crown Jewel. So there you go.
Well, it was supposed to be Brian, but
the only good match on that show. So there you go. Which again,
much.
I know, but still point proven.
Hell,
but
even the match where he lost the title, that
to
was
Brian was an amazing match. So honestly, I'm gonna say A.
Yeah, you could argue he probably should have lost the title, maybe the Joe and or Nakamura
at WrestleMania or SummerSlam. I'm glad he got the belt for over a year.
I would have probably said Joe because Nakamura by that point, once he lost the gender, yeah.
Well, no, not necessarily when he lost the gender. It was really they did redeem him by having him win the Rumble.
But they didn't capitalize.
But they didn't put the belt on him at Mania.
Yeah. Well, my thing is too is that they should have put the title on Jinder, and then you can have him drop the title to whoever, and then do a redemption arc, and then go from there. So,
which leads us to Bryan's final world title run in WWE when he turned heel. The match where he beat AJ to win the belt was great. Then he goes to have the match with Brock. Phenomenal match at Survivor Series, and then
I would say it was better than the AJ match.
I'd say I'd say they're equal. I can't pick one.
I would change is it would not be heel versus heel. That was kind of my thing, but
you could have had Bryan win the belt via shenanigans, but still keep him babyface for a bit. Then when you do the rematch. Then turn him.
Then you could turn,
because then the rematches, then him and the rematches with AJ were great.
Their TLC match, or that match at TLC was great.
Didn't they face each other at the Rumble? Yeah, the Rumble was probably the weakest match, but it was still very good. And then the Elimination Chamber match was amazing. And then the match where he lost it to Kofi, best match on that WrestleMania.
Hell, the triple threat with him, Owens, and Ali was great. And it was supposed to be him and Owens at Mania, but then Kofi got big because of that gauntlet match. Because Ali got hurt. So
I'd say for Bryan, I'm saying A.
You're gonna go A? Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, true. I don't know what the hell.
Easily, I would say across all of his world title reigns in either WWE or AEW, definitely his best.
Oh, yeah. And plus, the eco-friendly title
worked for him when he was being the asshole heel who hated people who hates people that eat meat. Those were, and honestly, I don't think Bryan was working when he said the fans are fickle. I think he meant it because, I mean, look at wrestling fans; they're fickle as hell. Especially about Brock Lesnar. These same people that were giving him shit for coming back were the same people that wanted him to come back in the first place.
Mm-hmm. He was probably calling out the marks. He probably would have said, "You fucking marks."
Which leads us to Kofi and his only title run. Okay, the moment itself was great, but the run was a big letdown. This is another example. This was another example, kind of like Jeff Hardy. He was far better as a chaser than a champion.
He was a mid-card champion at best because he had a great match with Owens at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
somewhat decent match with Joe, and then the whole Ziggler feud was what it
And
was.
then the Orton feud.
Yeah, that wasn't that good. It wasn't. I was very disappointed by it. And then just drops the title.
2 Brock, so now we're at Brock's
5th reign.
I think 5th reign.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, him winning the belt in a squash upset a lot of people. And yeah, terrible defense with Cain Velasquez. Decent one with Ray at Survivor Series. It was decent,
okay.
Nothing special. But of course, you know, the Rumble match, even though it wasn't for the belt, puts on one of the best Rumble performances ever. And then, unfortunately,
one might argue the best. Well, in terms of like one man spot, like a one man show.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see a great match with him and Drew at Mania because no crowd.
And also the Ricochet match. Yeah, that was Ricochet's. Yep, there goes your spot. But yeah, again, COVID fucked everything over, and
yeah,
it sucks.
So yeah, this was probably up to this point Brock's worst world title run he had of any sort.
Yeah,
and it was just mostly because of circumstance.
It was the world went to shit. That's literally what happened.
Which leads to Drew's first run, which despite no crowd. My God, he gave it his all during this time.
He carried the pandemic until Roman.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Like the matches he had, like hell, the match with Big Show he had out of nowhere wasn't bad. But then you get to him and Lashley. The match with Rollins
was great.
The match with Lashley.
Hell, the match he had with Orton at fucking SummerSlam was great.
Yeah. So
yeah, the Ziggler match, it was what it was.
Let's say B for his first run, which leads us to Orton's 10th and final world title reign. He had 10th WWE, 14 overall, which was only a month. It was only a month, but honestly, okay, I get they were trying to capitalize on Orton somewhat returning back to the Legend Killer character, but they didn't really need to put the belt on him.
Honestly, I honestly forgot that that reign happened. That was.
I mean, they wanted a great Hell in a Cell with Drew, even though it didn't need to be in the cell. They still put on a great Hell in a Cell.
I even thought the feud was dragging by that point.
But it leads us to Drew's second run and final with the WWE Championship, at least for now. Which essentially, this was essentially kind of like Stone Cold's first run and second run, where it was like, apart from a little time jump, Drew essentially had the belt for almost a year.
Yeah.
But again, Drew's second run, I would say it's just about on par with his first. I mean, he had a great champion versus champion with Roman at Survivor Series. But I think the match that I think defines both of his runs, the Sheamus match at Fastlane.
That wasn't for the title.
It was non-title?
Nope. He had the match with AJ at TLC, which was great. The Goldberg match, meh. And then at the Chamber, that's when he dropped the title.
I thought Fastlane was before the Chamber.
Nope. Chamber was after Fastlane. Him and Sheamus had a no holds barred match.
Wait. Hold up. Hang on a second. Let me see.
Because someone else had the title. Actually, 2 people had the title before.
Well, hold on. I'm trying to make sure I got my dates right. Okay, so yeah, Fastlane was after the Chamber. Okay, but yeah, still on par. And then we finally get Bobby Lashley as a world champion in WWE.
There's one guy you missed.
Oh, hang on. Hold up.
Yep.
Miz cash in only for a week. Mm-hmm. Now we get to Lashley.
Yep, fuck you.
So Lashley's first run, I actually think was pretty damn good. I mean, the matches with Drew were great.
Hell, that triple threat that involved Strowman at Backlash was fantastic.
Yeah. And then, didn't he work Keith Lee for the belt?
No, Lee was injured at that time.
When Lee came back, Lashley was still champion. I think they had a match.
They may have, but then he had the squash match with Kofi, which that really helped Lashley. The one thing that did put a big mark on it was the Goldberg match at SummerSlam. That was a bad match. So
I would say B.
yeah, B at that point. And plus, Lashley's still fucking immortal. Like, that guy does not age. He does not.
And honestly, if the rumors are true that he says he don't want to lose in AEW and wants to get all the money from Tony, because Tony's fucking stupid, take it full advantage of it. Take full advantage of it.
Put the world title on him.
Yeah, put the fucking world title on him, for
Why are
God's
you
sake.
putting him in the tag division? Put the fucking title on him.
But anyways, and then we get to Big E cashing in and beating Lashley. So this
Great
is
moment.
great moment and a great match with Roman at Survivor Series, champion versus champion. And didn't he beat Drew in a defense?
Yeah, great
in a really
match.
good match.
That was a great match at Crown Jewel.
But aside from that, unfortunately,
well, him, Roman, and Lashley, I think, had a match on Raw. That was very fucking good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
COVID hit Roman and changed up the day one plans. And honestly, that moment right there was a big butterfly effect, because if Roman wasn't sick, Roman was going to drop the belt, the Universal title, to Brock on that show. Who knows what would have happened with the WWE title? Maybe Big E was going to retain, or Seth was going to win the belt back. I don't know, but
well, who was Brock going to work at Mania then?
Who knows? But apparently Roman was supposed to have dropped the belt to Brock at the day one show.
Well, it's kind of funny whenever Roman said he had COVID and he came out like a week later, everyone's like, oh, he pulled a Hogan. He pulled a Hogan. It's like, that's bullshit. I'm not buying that.
But it is sad, though. It's like, for as many great things as that would lead to, sadly, the one guy who suffered was Big E, because pretty much he never got his rematch, was put back in the New Day, and then
suffered a neck injury
happened.
Which that wasn't Holland's
fault. The biggest butterfly effect of all time, and arguably modern WWE, was Roman getting COVID. And that's what led to Roman getting the belt for 2 more years, which was great. But unfortunately, Big E, his career sadly ended prematurely.
Yeah, that was so sad.
Which leads to Brock's 6th run with the belt, which was only a few weeks, because he would drop it to Lashley, who only had it for a few weeks.
I was there. It was a clusterfuck. I was there. and then
Lashley would drop it back to Lesnar, who only had it just to put it on Roman.
Okay,
to unify the belts.
This list isn't fully updated because
there's still 2 more reigns afterwards, but we'll add those afterwards. But so counting the WWE and Universal titles with Roman, we have to give this S.
We talked about it with the Universal title reign and all that stuff. Again, it did get a little tedious at some points.
Mainly in 2023, but at least when he showed up, it meant something, and actually still was putting on very good matches. Honestly, the weakest match,
it was the J match for me.
The J match at SummerSlam, which it was still good, but far from where they were in 2020.
It went too fucking long. That's just
it was just too long, but it was still a good match, but it was a far cry.
And Jimmy turning heel for no reason either.
But it was a far cry from their matches they had in 2020.
Yeah.
Massive far cry. But like even the LA Knight match was really good at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, that was a fun match.
Hell, the 4-way with Knight, Orton, and AJ at the Rumble last year, very good fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
So honestly, the J match was the only weakest match of at least the WWE title portion of the run.
Yeah.
But like great match with Matt Riddle on SmackDown. Great last man standing with Lesnar. Awesome match with Logan Paul.
Fantastic match with Drew at Clash.
Yeah, fantastic match with Drew. Awesome match with KO at the Rumble. Amazing match with Sammy at the Chamber. outstanding match with Cody at Mania 39.
Hell, the tag match that night at Champions was pretty good too.
And then the J match was still good, but far from what it should have been. The LA Knight match was really good. The Fatal 4-Way was very good. And then we get to the best match of the whole entire shebang, Cody at Mania 40. Which,
AKA,
now,
AKA their version of Endgame. That's literally
and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And now we get to Cody's first run, which a whole year plus.
I would say
hold on. Let's discuss it. So it starts off with the AJ feud with back-to-back amazing matches.
Well, not back-to-back. He had that match with Paul in between. He had the match with Logan Paul.
Oh, yeah, with Logan in between. But still back-to-back, essentially, with AJ. And then an amazing match with Logan Paul. And then, honestly, the only weak match of the whole reign was Solo at SummerSlam, but it was still a good match, but not great. The cage match they had on SmackDown not long after was much better.
Yeah.
Then the KO ladder match at the Rumble this year, which I was there. Awesome ladder match. And then,
KO looked like he about died. Holy shit.
And then... Yeah, and then sadly the reign ended in a disappointing match with Cena at Mania. But even despite that, But now let's talk about the other two. Well, okay, so Cody's second run has only just started, so we can't make a judgment yet.
It looks like it's going to be him and Drew at Paris, which
should be an amazing match. But now Cena's 14th and final run. I mean, the match in which he won was disappointing, but the match with Orton at Backlash was really good.
I was there.
The match with Punk at Night of Champions was still really good, even though that, as well as the SummerSlam 2011 matches, are the weakest matches of their story. Even the R-Truth matches, despite being short, were fun. They were fun.
Yeah, honestly, they were probably some of the better matches.
But... then the match in which he loses to Cody, awesome main event at SummerSlam.
When in doubt, hit your finisher. That's literally it. Okay, you might disagree with me.
I would say C.
Either C or D for me. It's just
I'd say C because, I mean, yeah, of course, I mean, people are going to look back on the Cena heel run, think it was a failure. I don't think it was necessarily a failure. You knew they were not going to keep him heel for too long.
Well, we know
you just wanted to have fun with the novelty of Cena being bad for the first time in 22 years or 23 years.
The thing is that I feel like a lot of people fantasize on what his heel run was going to be, myself included. My whole thing is, what was the point of him and Rock teaming up, or like?
Rock gave the signal for Cena to go bad.
No payoff whatsoever.
We probably never will since Travis Scott ain't coming back, and who knows the next time the Rock is coming back. Maybe the Rock might come back before Cena retires, and then we get the explanation. Then we get like some physical interaction with the two where Cena beats the crap out of the Rock. And then you ended it's still out in the open. So there you go. Don't say it's completely finished. It could still have a payoff with Rock explaining why and then being disappointed that he went back to being good and dropping it to Cody. And then you could maybe do like a quick little physical altercation in which Rock gets decimated. And that would be the last we see of The Rock for a long time.
And another thing, too, with the Cena matches, I did have fun with the Backlash match. The main problem or problems I had with those matches, they got strung out a bit too long. It just might be a me thing, but like the one with the Punk match was probably one of his better ones. The problem is, the interference took up so much fucking time. That's just how I viewed it. It's like, did it need to go that long? But okay, like the SummerSlam match.
Yeah, it went 37 minutes long, but
It
honestly,
didn't need to go that long.
I'm
It
gonna
could've
go.
went-
I'm gonna say it. I think it was appropriate. It went that long because it was
Yeah.
Cena's. It was Cena's. No. It was Cena's best match he had since AJ at the Rumble 2017.
Could have cut 5 minutes, personally.
Maybe 5 minutes, but it should have been 30 minutes. It was appropriate for it to be 30 minutes. And plus, Cena was doing more in the match than he
He had a
was
fucking
earlier.
code red on the outside, for God's sake.
Yeah, he was showing
Cody-
that, yeah, I might be hurting, but I'll still pull out all the stops for
Cody's
this
hitting
guy.
pile drivers and shit.
Yeah. But now we're at Cody's second run, which has only just started, so we can't say where it's graded until it's over.
Boy. The people on Twitter are already turning on him, which good. That's funny. They need to turn him heel. I keep saying it. They need to turn that guy heel. They're
Well,
gonna
Cody's even said himself, we're at near the end of this babyface run he's under.
I'm not buying the fact that, I might turn heel. I'm not buying that. I'm sorry.
He'd probably go heel at some point. Maybe heading
He's
into next
heel.
year. I say maybe heading into next year he might go heel. I mean, we'll see.
He was getting a lot of boos at SummerSlam.
Well, that's only because of Cena.
Well, yeah, I know,
But it's like outside, when you get him outside of the Cena realm, he's still one of the more over guys on the roster. It's like, as long as you don't have him in a match against Cena, he's still getting some of the biggest pops of anybody on the roster. Honestly, though, I will say, as long as he's still getting like 90% cheers, you don't need to turn him heel necessarily.
Now, if you put him in the ring with Punk, he's probably going to get booed a lot more than Cena. I'm just saying.
Well, we'll see. But right now with him and Drew, it's fitting. It's fitting since Drew's still getting a ton of boos. So it's working right now. And I look forward to the match that they have.
Please give that man a proper title reign. Please. He's been doing so much for you.
I think Drew's going to be the one to take it off of him. I don't think it will be at Paris. I think they might wait a month or two. I think they might wait a month or two, maybe Crown Jewel. Well, no, because you got
Australia.
the Crown Jewel Championship match with WWE and Big Gold Belt going at it, which I am going to guess is going to be Rollins. Hell, I could see maybe. Honestly, I think
Rollins and Cody.
Rollins and Cody, which should be phenomenal again.
Yeah.
And then maybe you could have Rollins win the Crown Jewel belt for this year. But I think maybe they'll have Cody drop it to Drew like after Crown Jewel, if that's where they're going. Because
who do you have Drew face then?
Drew face then afterwards? Face all the baby faces you have on SmackDown. Face Jacob, he could face.
Oh yeah, him and Fatu could have some great matches.
That'd be a stiff fight.
They could probably revisit the feud with him and Priest. Maybe I could see them probably.
Yeah, you could go him and Priest but this time for the belt. Hell, you could even do him and Roman one more time.
Roman's on Raw.
Well, he's in and out, Raw or SmackDown.
True.
Hell, if they decide to turn Brock babyface after the Cena stuff is done, you could do proper Drew Brock match where Drew beats the fuck out of Brock. You could do that too. Hell, you could do Drew versus Cena like in November at some point before Cena.
Maybe Survivor Series. Well,
yeah, you could probably do them too at Survivor Series. I don't think either of them is going to be in War Games.
Unless Gunther's going to be back in time, I can see that happening.
But yeah, and then the end goal, if they put it on Drew, to drop it to Sammy at Mania and Sammy win the Rumble, because you would do killing two birds with one stone in terms of ending two storylines with Sammy. Him wanting to be a world champion and finally beating Drew in a one-on-one match, which he has yet to do. It'd be kind of like a bigger version of when Tommy Dreamer beat Raven finally in ECW after losing to Raven so many times. Only the reason I say it's bigger is because it'd be for a world title in the end. And
I would've
Sammy's
fi- I
been
would have
long
figured
overdue to
Sammy.
get a world title.
I would have figured Sammy may have gone to Raw and challenged Rollins.
But no, and also to be honest though, I thought if he'd win the Rumble, he'd go after the WWE title instead,
True.
anyways. Because I'm still under the assumption Rollins is going to hold that belt until Mania, and I was still thinking LA Knight could be the one to take it off of him, but I'm thinking they're going to build up for Breaker to win the belt off of him and have Breaker turn on Rollins because we could see it down the road. This Vision faction, Braun becomes sick of Rollins' bullshit and wants the belt for himself.
Oh yeah, once Steiner gets on his own again, they're gonna strap the rocket to that guy.
As they should.
Yes,
as they fucking should.
He's got everything. He's got He's got everything. The whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm. So, and honestly, I could see the dissension start at Survivor Series. Like, you could have Breaker take the fall in the War Games match, and that would be making Rollins watch over him constantly and make him go through hoop after hoop after hoop. And then Breaker just grows sick and tired of the bullshit, turns on Rollins.
Goes through Bronson, all that stuff.
Honestly, I think I would wait for the turn to happen after Elimination Chamber. Like, I would have Breaker win the Elimination Chamber, and then, like, you could hold off on, if Sammy wins the Rumble, hold off on Sammy picking who he wants until Breaker decides. Like, you could do the Batista Triple H thing, like a contract thing, or like a segment where Breaker's like, I'll go after the WWE title. Thumbs up, thumbs down, and then beat the shit out of Rollins and say, I'm going to take the world title from you. You could revisit that storyline, but with Rollins and Breaker, and that would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going
We'll have to tell that. We'll have to tell that to the rest of the Shadow Cult guys, see what they think. I think it's brilliant.
There's going to be like, actually... Yeah, I think Breaker is going to be like this version, like this generation's Batista.
But better.
Yeah, well, Dave was great too, but I think the problem
Dave was great, but
Dave couldn't really go for long because he has
and was injury prone too.
Yeah, true.
Whereas Breaker's got much more athletic capability.
Well, Breaker was limping after that match with that tag.
But I think he might be good now. So.
He should be, yeah,
but that's WWE Championship reigns tier list.
Yeah.
Sadly, we had a ton of bad ones.
Mainly in the late 2000s, early 2010s. There was a lot of bad ones. They literally switched the title like every month. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, jeez.
Especially with like Cena, Orton, Bryan, Del Rio, Cena, and Punk.
Sheamus, Orton, all that shit.
It was all over the map.
Triple H, Orton, Batista, that was mainly because he got hurt.
But S and A, these are the elite runs. Mm-hmm. So we have Bruno's first, Hogan's first, Cena's third, Punk's third, or really second. Roman's for the WWE Championship, at least. I think it was his fifth?
For WWE? No, that was his third.
No, for the WWE title.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Oh, no, that was his fourth. Never mind.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, fourth. So Roman's fourth. And then we have Bruno's second, Pedro's only, Backlund's. Really, both of these are his first, but because of the debacle with Antonio Inoki. But Backlund's first and technically second. Brett's second, Shawn's first, Austin's first, Triple H's second.
Yep.
Austin's sixth, Taker's fourth, Brock's first, Cena's first, Orton's second, Cena's... I'm trying to remember going back.
11th? No.
Yeah, or 10th or 11th.
10th, yeah.
Rollins first, AJ second, Bryan third, Cody first.
Yeah.
Although I'm almost tempted to put Graham into A as well, just because like he was the first long-standing heel.
Yeah, they have a long reign.
So yeah, I'm gonna put Graham in A as well. And I think B is pretty much perfect. Like these were really good, but not elite.
Yeah.
And then C were like decent to solid, but could have been better.
Somewhat forgettable, yeah.
D is forgettable or just for the moments, and then F is like bad, straight up bad, or too short. And then when did this happen? Like in the case of Ray only having it for a little bit, Vince winning it, DiBiase, and then not counting. Same with Inoki.
Yeah, man.
So there you have it.
Hooray!
We finally got through it.
Yay!
Slowly but surely. Fucking 151. Jeez.
Well, technically 153.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Lordy.
But I think actually I'm going to call it a stream right there because my voice is starting to die. So
yeah, my voice has been kind of weathered because on my walk I was trying to sing "Aphonic Doom" by Cal Decapitation. Don't try and do this.
You're trying to go for the Spiegel vocal.
Yeah, I tried so hard and I wrecked my shit, and people were looking at me like, "What's this fucking guy doing?" How does Travis Ryan do that, dude? I want to know how he does that.
But anyways, so thank you guys who tuned into this stream. I don't know when the next stream will happen, but we'll see. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that history lesson of WWE World Titles. But until next time, horns high, dreams wet. Bye!
Bye!